Order. Roll call.
Shawless,
Here.
Reeser,
Here.
Buffington, Jackson,
Here.
Alexander, Graves,
Here.
Shelby,
Here. Petitions from the audience. Don't see any. Discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of the April 27th, 2026 meeting. The month of May, we didn't have one because we couldn't get a quorum, so we don't have the minutes from April's meeting, but I don't think there was anything pressing upon that one.
I'll make a motion, we approve them.
Second?
All in favor?
who was the second? I don't have y'all memorized.
Roy Jack.
Okay.
Newbie, we gotta take care of her, hang on. Reports. I think the mayor is gonna do Frank's, so let's do the.
Did you guys want to vote?
Huh?
You want to vote on the minutes? Made the
We
motion?
did, we said.
Did you say all in favor?
Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
Gotcha. All right, moving on.
Okay, we got reports. Let's do Dennis's, golf course report to give the time the mayor to get back. Get a little wet.
Good evening.
Wet days here the last month or so.
Yes, yeah, June, the weather has been very wet and cool. You know, usually if it's cool, it can be wet. That's kind of the way Mother Nature works for June, so. But the golf course in fantastic shape, you know, we just get people every day coming in raving about it, so we're really tickled to death with that. Their finances are doing extraordinarily good. Last year, I thought we just couldn't have a better year than last year. Last year, the golf course did $848,000, which wasn't that long ago. It was around 300. You know,
I was gonna
so-
say, remember when it was.
Yeah, so 376 and stuff like
Now,
that.
was that revenues,
Yes, that's total revenues last year,
848?
848.
Okay.
And this year, we got another, 7-8 days here for the end of the year. And so we're on track. I'm kind of estimating about 930.
Wow.
We've already done 849 through the end of May.
Okay.
849. So we may surpass last year. So, and a lot of that is just by looking into the numbers a little bit. The green fees is driving a lot of that revenue. So our green fees are up a couple thousand rounds over last year from about 15 to 17. And so when you figure a couple thousand rounds at $44, that's driving most of that revenue.
Do you think that since we went to that app to where you can go online and book and they give you discounts and stuff like that? Because I've signed up for it, so I get it daily, so
Yeah.
those daily deals. Do you
Daily.
think that's helped?
Yes, so it's kind of interesting, we start looking into those numbers, the revenue from those numbers is up, but the average price is a little lower. So what they're doing is they're getting more people during the non-peak times, the slower times, so that's where we're getting a little increase there, so which is what we want.
Yeah.
You know, it's Saturday at 8 o'clock, we're busy anyway, right? But when you take 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you know, that's when everything slows down typically, but not lately. So, I mean, you was out there Saturday or Sunday, what day was you out there?
Both
And it
days.
was- You was out there in the afternoon and it was just
Yeah.
waiting in
It
line
was
to go.
packed.
So,
Yeah. Sunday, we got out there 12:30 and there's half a dozen in front of us already,
Yeah.
right after the rain. And
Yeah.
as soon as we got back, the carts were just gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, so, yeah, the Sagacity Golf deal, I think, has been a real good help to that. It gets, like I said, it gets people like you, a book, okay, I'll do it Saturday at 2 o'clock instead of paying $50 at 8 o'clock. You know, get something, I don't know, probably $30 or $32 or something like that. But so it's really been a good deal. So yeah, we're doing a lot of good little things, just kind of stacking some good things on top of each other, and And that's produced some really good revenue for us.
Hey Dennis, just a quick question on, do you happen to have the expense numbers for the year so far, or what you're projecting expenses to be?
So I do have those, let's see, what did we do last, April? We got it through April, our expenses?
Yes. I've just about got May ready. I've got it at Coker's. He's reviewing a couple things, and then I'll be sending that out.
I can give you what Hannah sent me.
So close.
Hannah might be able to find that faster than me. Oh, I had that right here.
Well, maybe, but that,
Maybe did the fund balance increase over the same, take last year at this time and this year at this time, that fund balance, it'll all work itself out to a change in that fund balance, won't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be an easier number.
I'm just trying to see what the margins were.
Yeah.
So our budgeted amount is 872, and we're gonna run well below that, so,
Okay.
but I don't have
That's-
those exact numbers.
Anyway, I didn't know if you had those off the top of your head.
So-
That's okay.
I kinda have a feeling just from my numbers, she'll give us the official numbers, but, you know, we spent, what, $270 something thousand on the cart paths. And,
But take that into consideration.
yeah, and even after all that, we spent, I think the golf course account's gonna be right around close to 600,000. So it just keeps going up. Even though we spent quite a bit of money, it keeps going up.
So do you, if you just compare rounds, how does that look last year versus this year?
The paid rounds is probably gonna be about 2,000 more.
This year than
Yeah.
last year?
And membership rounds, you know, it's,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to keep the membership rounds because people just go out, hop on a cart and go play. And we try to get everybody to check in so we can track that, but sometimes it's harder to do.
Yeah. It's hard to herd the cats, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
bless your heart. Thank you.
But we've got a lot of good things. I do have this to pass out to everybody. It's just, I try to keep our little capital improvement
No, yeah.
spreadsheet.
Oh, okay.
And
Thank you, sir.
we can see.
Thank you.
I kind of changed things around, I started putting things, moving it to the bottom of our list, just to show you, at least you can see what we have done.
Good.
In the red, so that's what we have done. And then in the top, so, give y'all a second to look that over, and
Dennis, what would you say on these, the ones in red, the capital expenditures that we've spent? What's the time frame over that, would you say? That isn't all, in
Yeah.
just,
so, the house, we did that house in, about almost 5 years ago. The house was
Okay.
done. The truck was done 2 years ago. And of course, the cart path was done recently. that'd probably be a good idea to put the dates next to those.
well, what I'm saying is that we've got 600,000 in the bank. And we've spent close to probably $300,000 last year in capital improvements. So that's, that's a pretty good margin for, the size of operation that we got.
Yeah.
And we've got new bridges out there.
Yeah, so
which-
that,
Right.
I was gonna say, you got that on your project as number 2, so.
Yeah, we gotta get
Will you
those
take it
bridge
off?
approaches done and get the bridge approaches. That's the approaches
Oh, okay.
that we still haven't done that yet, you know. It's just gravel
You
approaches
know-
right now. I wanna get asphalt and,
Do you think we want to put concrete there? Because it's holding up extremely well.
yeah, it does hold up pretty good right there. What I'd like to do is just take a little bit of that gravel out and just cap it with asphalt where it's nice and smooth and it won't move around on us. It wouldn't be very expensive to cap that with asphalt. It's just,
Yeah.
Like, Buddy was gonna come out and do it, and he got so busy, he says, I can't, I was too busy.
I was
to find
just,
it." But-
you know, those approaches,
Yeah.
whatever that, I mean, it's working extremely well.
Yeah.
It's
It's
made
that-
a world of difference out there
It-
too.
it-
I actually heard people talking about it, how much nicer the bridges are.
And we can cap them, I think, with a couple inches of asphalt. I had Buddy come out, and he helped me, say, hey, Buddy, if you can't do it, tell us what we can do. And he says, man, I just drag a little of that off and cap it with 2 inches, and I think he's got one of them little deals, compactors he said we could use. And
So this bridge replacement, $32,000, that's to be done yet?
well, yeah, that is just what, that's really not bridge replacement, that's just really, if we was gonna go in there and concrete all that, but I think that number will go way down.
It's high.
Yeah, it's just real high, just, we need to fix our bridge approaches, and if we asphalt those, do it ourselves, we just ever get enough people in time, we can do it ourselves, that's the question.
Well, and I think it's probably worth, I don't know how we get an estimate from, it was Elite, right? Cowan Fabricators?
They did the bridges, yeah,
Yeah.
they're not the asphalt people. But the other thing we could do is if we want to finish the asphalt on hole 2 and 3, because we did all of them but 2 and 3, is throw that in there to have that company that does actual asphalt to do re-asphalt 2 and 3, then everything's completely done and they could do those bridges, approaches.
I'm thinking about, even though he donated that material and built all of them, what's the market value of that? if we
Oh,
did
the
it?
market value of those bridges, ooh,
So that's just something we'd want to include.
I got you.
Those are capital
Right.
improvements.
Yeah.
We didn't have to spend capital for that,
Right.
but that's a very significant expense.
Yeah, I need to put that on there, yeah. Bridge cost. I'll get with Jerry, he's over in Scotland right now, but I'll get with him, when he comes back, we'll get a good number on, because he'll know exactly what that value is.
I thought we did something on the roof on the pro shop, did we not? I thought,
He's come in there and just patched it a few. We did the, cart building roof, we did that one.
okay, I knew there was
Right.
something we did.
And we did the old cart building roof, and the other two are good, so.
How many stalls out there do we have off the top of your head?
71
71, what was that?
Stalls.
stalls,
How
cart
many
stalls,
cart stalls?
yeah.
So which of these would be on the front burner?
So that's what I was kind of fixing to get to.
Okay.
Our bunker rate, a long time ago, Bill's here, we went and got a bunker rate from the Bixby Golf Course, White Hawk, when it went out of business. We went and was able to buy one of their bunker rakes at a great little price. And so we've used it ever since, and it was a used one when we got it. So the hydraulics leak on it, well, you can't rebuild the hydraulic deal. We've called around, you can't rebuild it, you just have to buy a new one. The motor went out, we've put a motor in it already once, so it'd be another motor, but, so we really need a new bunker rake, it's just too expensive to keep throwing money into something that's that old, so I got with the mayor and he said, get quotes on it, so I think it's gonna be around 22,000, maybe 23,000 to get us another bunker rake. That's the highest thing on our priority list, because hand raking bunkers is 7-8 hour job for one person. To rake with the bunker rakes is about an hour and 15 minutes. So it's a huge labor saver and it keeps our bunkers looking nice. So that's the biggest thing, and,
Bathrooms?
yeah, bathrooms. So,
So, I've actually,
All those bathroom issues right there together. Let's see.
yeah, we need to, we talked about, when Keith come out, we put the new bathroom in there, we need to just remodel the bathroom on 15T.
and,
And then the one at the maintenance building also, then all of our bathrooms, I think
and
would,
the one on, what's the one out there by 18?
18, yeah, the maintenance building one. By
The one,
18,
the new, it's got the concrete pad underneath it and, that's 15.
15,
It's
yeah.
15.
Yeah, that's what I got right down
Yeah.
here, I've got that on there, remodel at 15 T-box.
So we got that bathroom there,
Right,
probably needs a little help.
yeah,
And I've actually got that on on the Parker, on the golf course report. It was update regarding new golf course bathrooms. I talked to Sean last week,
Good, yeah, I told you.
and our biggest issue is we gotta figure out what we want.
Is that Pendley?
Yeah. We need to figure out exactly what it is that we're looking for, decide it, and then send out something so somebody can design it, so forth. And he's put a price out there, and I'd had to pull it up, I think it was $10,000, don't hold me to it, but to design and do a,
Go through all
be a
the
general
phases.
contractor on the job.
Right.
He would hire the person, and then, I mean, they would give us a bid of, this is what it's gonna cost, but his part was 10,000, so.
He's a local guy and he's a golfer, so.
And he's doing the design
He would do the design, the whole 9 yards.
and manage the project. That's typically, you estimate a project like that about 10% in your design, your cost. So isn't that like 100?
It'd be like,
We don't know
figure
what-
18 to 20,000 probably to build that bathroom.
Oh, okay.
No,
Now, wait a second, that
That's
can't
too low.
be.
That's
18
what I
to 20.
thought, I
You
thought
mean
that's
for-
what he
For
said.
Sean that much, or just for him?
The building, he said, was 18 to 20 is what he said the other day,
Okay.
but I'll verify that.
concrete and everything, yeah, concrete.
But we changed it a little bit on some of what we want to do, but I'll verify that.
15?
For some reason, I was thinking we were over 100,000.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 150,000.
Yeah, 150 is the number I had in my head.
Me too.
I don't think it's that high.
It may not be.
I don't think it's that high.
Now, this doesn't involve 5-gallon buckets, does it?
Well, maybe.
Okay, so
Big
if
hole
we
in the
look at
ground.
that bathroom equation there, what would your recommendation on, if we could pull the trigger and everything works out, when do we want to pull the trigger on that? When do we want to start the process? Is it
ASAP.
right- Are we ready?
Exactly.
We're right there?
Yeah, I'd do it ASAP. As soon as we could, if y'all would agree to hire Sean, put him on it and turn him loose and
I'll get
get plans
I'll
to
get
you.
some
and-
firm numbers and, let me look, I might have them.
Is something like this, in our recommendation, does it do we have to shop this between three parties? Or can we just pick one out and let him do it? I mean, I don't know the city rules,
I think the city is trying to move towards bids.
okay?
Is that correct?
So,
After a certain amount, yes.
Sean, God, that is so loud. Sean would qualify as a professional service as an architect, but then the actual work itself would have to be bid out. So we'd have to
But
see.
bringing him on for the professional service and oversight would require.
So he could technically do like
Okay,
if he were gonna do like a CMR, construction manager at risk, then he would be responsible for, like when we do our engineering projects, Dale is our engineer. Dale also designs a lot of those projects, and then Dale goes out, seeks the bids, gets the stuff, and he does all that work. That puts all of that on him, and he then becomes the agent that does the bidding. Then all the bids would be received here at City Hall, and then we open them here at City Hall.
so before that all gets done, if we were to make a recommendation to move forward with Sean, and before those bathrooms were done, what's the time frame? What's it take to go through all those, jump through those hoops and have the actual thing on the ground working, functional?
You can probably figure it's gonna be at least 2 months to get approvals. And that's just
Yeah.
working as swiftly as we can. And then construction just depends on how that project goes. You know, you look at the bathroom at the tennis courts, and we thought that'd be quick, and here we are 4 months in, still waiting on a garage door. So,
Sometime
sometimes,
next year, maybe by spring,
probably 6 to 8 months, probably,
8 months, okay.
I'd be guessing.
yeah.
They have to go good to make it 6 months.
We are very much under the opinion anymore that we'd rather it take longer to do and not rush
Right.
than get through it and go like, oh man, we messed up. Just try to get it done quick, so.
So it says compensation, the proposed fee for these services is not to exceed $7,200 billed at the professional service hourly rate. Refer to attached exhibit A, which I have. An initial service retainer fee of $1,200 is requested for commitments of service. And it says, just what, what he's gonna do. Construction costs, let's see. It is recognized that neither the architect nor the owner has control over labor, cost of labor, materials, or equipment over the contractor's method of determining bid prices or over competitive bidding, market, or negotiation conditions accordingly. The architect cannot and does not warrant or represent the bids. Negotiated prices will not vary from any cost evaluation prepared by the architect.
It's kind of pretty standard outs
Yeah.
type stuff.
Like I said, you can, we've used Dale Burke, the city engineer, on the cart pass. Like the mayor said, he can do the same thing. It's just, I guess, a matter who y'all want to pick.
And it might even just be easier to let Sean draw it up and then hand it over to Dale to get the bidding and
Yeah.
construction going.
Dale's pretty good at the bidding.
That's what he does for us, and he's got all the right sources, and he can do it.
72 and 1,200 is $8,400.
On a $150,000 building, that's below what I would think market is.
He told me he wanted to give the city the best deal that he absolutely could, just because of, he cares about our golf course and he's trying to help the golf course as much as he can.
Sounds like he is.
He's got a rendering drawing, and I'll share
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, didn't we have something like that in print?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he'll
Seen
give it
that
to us.
before, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, we've
Yeah.
seen that
Yeah.
before.
So, that's it. It's a newer style. We've updated the look of it, and it would really make a difference, especially out there.
Absolutely would.
Yeah, it would, yeah. And then the remodel of the one at 15.
I think,
If there was a
if,
challenge on the course, it would be those bathrooms, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's doable. Funds are there and.
I think like the mayor said, it might be the best avenues to have him hired as the architect to do it, turn the bidding over to Dale, because Dale does that with the city all the time. And then maybe have him look at what we need to do to remodel the existing bathrooms.
And he said he would throw that in. I think
Yeah.
it wasn't much.
Right, yeah, I don't think it'd be much, but,
Basically, we would just change I think it was the look of the outside of it, just look at the inside.
outside and
Sure.
kind of gut the inside and redo it all.
Those bathrooms by the, cart stalls, are they just, hopeless, leave them, forget them?
No, I mean, those could be reopened. We have to run a water line. When we took the house out, they did away with that water line. So we'd have to come out and tap a new water line and run it all the way around to those bathrooms.
Is it that important, do you feel? I mean, you got some in the clubhouse.
Yeah, we got them in the clubhouse there. Our golf course with the 3 sets of restrooms out there on the golf course, plus the one inside the pro shop, we got more restrooms than most golf courses do. If we had the 5th one, which is kind of handy sometimes when the shop's closed, but a lot of people just run down to 10 if they need to still use the restroom.
Okay,
It's
that makes sense.
5 sets of restrooms, a lot on a golf course.
Okay, that makes sense, thank you.
Typically, you'll have 1 in the clubhouse and maybe 1 to 2 at the most on the course, so 3 total is about all I've ever seen.
Like Claremore has 3.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably high priority to get those done, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So one of I have a update regarding new golf course bathrooms. I guess what we can do is I'll have Sean send the drawings again and put, his proposal of what it is. So we can put it on July's packet, approve it. And then approve the money for him to go forward and then
Outline,
send it out for bid afterwards. Does that sound like the plan?
Sounds like a good plan.
probably need to outline his scope of work. that
Yep.
He's gonna do what we need him to do, and then Dale would do the bidding of it, so.
So do you need a motion to go forward on that? Or
No,
it
this is just a
path-
discussion.
just a path we're
Yeah,
going
this is
to get
update.
there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Make some notes, sorry.
All right, covered the bunker rate, the pump station, we're still working on the pump station. That thing's always a work in progress, trying to make it better. That's all we're trying to do is, as the pumps wore out, we have changed them around a little bit and trying to use that big tank. Matt Dawson's helped us with that big tank, trying to get it. If we can get that big tank to hold water, it'll be so much easier to put our pumps in and out of that tank than it is a river. And that's our plan, is to switch that over, and
They got it pretty well
so much
done.
easier. Well, Matt, we got a foot of water in the tank, then it drained out, so he thought he had the bottom all sealed, so he's coming back to see where it's leaking at, so. We're gaining on it, it's just a
It's a big
little
tank.
slow process.
It's a massive tank.
Can you believe that it's only been recent years, I can't remember exactly when, that course never had water on it. In the summertime, it was like cement out there or something.
Oh, man. Well, we put the new irrigation system in 2007.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we saved up enough money from 2001 to 2007, once we got the golf course flipped around we saved up enough money that we could actually go and put in the irrigation system. We got a little money from the Jock Mayer Foundation and end up installing a nice little system, still works good. We've kept it updated, and so it's still a really good system. And it makes all the difference in the world. Like I said, we had people just talking about that about a week ago, about before the irrigation system, how far the ball would go.
Yeah.
It would fairways would just get yellow in the summertime and be burnt plumb out. And they could hit it and the ball just roll forever.
That's what we like, isn't it, Ron?
Well, I watch those pros hit the ball and they hit that lush green stuff and I go, oh, mine bounce a lot longer than theirs do.
Yeah. That's all I have on my report.
So,
Any other questions?
just going through our priority list, so we're still saying bathrooms, and then bridge, the approaches on the bridges, and a
Bunker, right?
bunker rake is probably your top three that
Yes.
we need to try to get done for the year.
Yeah, yeah. I do need a greens mower. Our greens mower is getting really old. so
That's what I was getting ready to say, is
That's
that's
the
the
other
next
thing that's
one
on
up.
the list, is a greens mower.
And what are we probably talking about capital for that?
65 to 75, depends on what attachments we get on it, but yeah. just a-
And additional parking, I don't know if you were covering that.
Oh, yeah, the additional parking, I measured out some areas and trying to figure out, got all them high lines out there, so people just they just park wherever they want to out there, and I did talk to Buddy, he doesn't have any more of the chippings, the chips that they, the milled chips where they pull up the old asphalt, but he had a couple loads, he brought them out to us, we're trying to make a little circle drive out there, but other than that, we're gonna have to just buy gravel unless you have any chips coming soon or anything?
We might, but nothing that's gonna be in the next month or two, so.
Yeah, so to get more overflow parking, it's just gonna have to probably go out there and stake off some places and just gravel it.
Good problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will mention, you talked about, we were kind of looking at the overall budget, and you're thinking we're gonna end up the year at
930.
930,000, about 10% over last year in revenues. And as far as I know, and maybe this is for Hannah, the golf course is totally independent, right? Just so there's no expenses getting paid by the city or anything. Just out of curiosity, I looked up Claremore today. Claremore, the Public Works, it's called the Rogers County Public Authority something, big long name. They contribute $150,000 a year in the city of Claremore. Latest numbers are 50,000, so they're putting $200,000 a year in from the city and the county
Into the course.
into the course. And they're pretty, they're having some issues with the grain and stuff like that, but I think that's a pretty good benchmark for us. You don't want to go look at the rest of their budget, though. They've got a budget that is, and I'm really surprised they're subsidizing the course because their parks, and don't quote me on this, but you can go look yourself. I think the number is going to blow you out of your seat. $8 million.
What?
That's the city of Claremore's parks. And I'm not for sure the way the way they've got it set up. I was trying to get down and look at these individual things, but I think there's some capital in there. But you can go online and look.
It's the overall parks, all that
It's-
umbrella of things.
Yeah. I think their overall, not their general fund, but their overall budget is in excess, I believe, of 100 million. So they've got some, I'm not sure how they've got some public works authority, and the mayor probably knows more about how those are set up, but
I think their parks and their golf course is all under Parks and Rec.
well, their golf course is actually operated by that facility I was talking about, the Rogers
Right,
County.
yeah, it's a
So they're
separate,
getting county subsidized.
It's county and city subsidized, and the county, though, it's their board.
trust board
Yeah, it's,
that runs it,
they run it.
Yeah.
So it's not operated by the city,
no,
but the city contributes to it.
correct.
And, anyway, just kind of interesting how,
Yeah.
the numbers.
Fortunate situation we have here.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Well,
I had one, chase a rabbit real quick. I know we got a lot of stuff going on. Camera protection, okay? You know, a lot of things change when people know cameras are on them, okay? Is it that expensive anymore? Because it's gotten pretty cheap to do some of that.
Well,
stuff.
that price was done quite a while back, but that was for the cart buildings out there,
The cart buildings?
3 cart buildings and the pro shop, and then the other cart building.
Yeah, just
And
the
the 2,
facilities around there.
and the maintenance building. So that was, they said, you just come in here and put nice cameras that you can actually tell who's stealing or what license plate it was.
Okay.
But that's the maintenance building, those 3 cart buildings, the pro shop, and the other cart building.
Yeah.
So that's 6 buildings right there.
what does it cost for a flock?
12,000.
What was that? The what now?
Because Flock's got them, and they've got those systems now to where you can actually, Lowe's has one. It's on a cart, you pull it behind a pickup, you set it
No,
up.
the trailer.
Trailer,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
set those up.
There's one at the
Also,
hospital.
Walmart uses
Huh?
those.
Hospital.
Oh, that's right, the hospital does have one, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Well, that may be a better way to do it, because that thing will covers a very large
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, they have a big tire that they set up on.
Well, I just know it's not nearly as costly as it used to be. and
No, yeah.
A lot of other alternatives and retention of videos and things like that. The technology has changed a lot in those
It
areas.
has. It's getting better all the time for that kind of
Economics are
stuff.
better. That may be something we can visit more about. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's way down the list.
I got one question concerning these cameras. Okay, now, we do currently have stuff installed right now, correct?
Correct.
Now, this number that you have here, is that also including a monitoring fee? Like a company is actually monitoring this stuff? Because let's face it, you're not gonna be sitting in an office for 8, 12 hours watching nothing but cameras.
Right. Now, this was just a ballpark number. The guy said, hey, if you want to do all this and do it right, it's going to be about 45,000. That's all that was. It's not a detailed,
So that's putting
Quote.
up, having it set up to where the activities of the day can be recorded,
Right.
time-stamped and all that, and so on and so forth. But I'm talking about after hours, is this a monitored system,
No,
or is it just
this
run
was-
on its own independently,
So
and then we
most-
have to look at it?
We've been looking at a lot of cameras. We added them to the street, we added them to Frank's buildings, things like that. What you're gonna get in that package is you're gonna get about a terabyte or 2 terabytes of,
Terabyte's quite a bit.
right, of data. It'll hold the information for 2 weeks to 30 days. You can go back and replay it. But at the end of a 30-day cycle, or whatever that cycle is for your storage, it will auto-delete. So, it goes to a cloud, which saves you a ton of money.
Right.
When you're having to buy servers, that's gonna add up fast. But if you can get a terabyte of cloud, and, the ones we put at Buddy's were, I think, X amount of cameras, the monitoring station, the driver, and then all the cloud base, it was like $2,400. So he can go back and watch it, but he can't go back a year. He can go back X amount of time and review. So that's kind of, imagine what we would do there. Same thing we did with Frank, is just gives them a little bit of backup. Eventually, we'd love to see all of those networked into the dispatch station where the police can watch it. But now you're talking, 100, 150 cameras across the city, and
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot to do. So
I've already seen what they already monitor, and
Yeah.
it's quite an undertaking
So-
by itself.
the package is probably gonna have something in there, and you'll just see like, 4 TB or whatever, and it's just part of the package, but it's cloud storage.
Okay.
Ours is simple safe, and they actually monitor it. So if something happens, like myself and two other people they text us, and then they'll call if they see something, and we literally can pull up. All of ours is web-based or cloud-based, and
Okay.
just go in there, put the date and time, something happened, it's right there. And it's $59 or $60 a month is what we pay, and we've got 6 cameras.
Okay.
Yeah, you can whistle and bell the heck out of this stuff, and it'll get expensive
Oh, yeah.
quick, but.
But it's well worth it, though.
I was just asking, I was curious because of the dollar figure that you had.
You know,
That was, like I said, that's just a
That's quite a
ballpark
bit,
quote.
considering
About 3 years ago from Digi, that guy come out and said to do all this, you're probably looking.
that's why
That-
hence the
to know.
question, is somebody actually sitting there monitoring this stuff? We're paying somebody to monitor this. For a price like that, I can get somebody to monitor
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that, like I said, that-
Well, and we used, for example, again at the street, we used Cherokee Security down here on Main Street. And his software he's got software that will integrate with Digi, with all the stuff that we use at the PD. It's just that extra cost to go that extra bit jumps fast. But to monitor on-site, local storage on a cloud, whatever, $2,500.
We could literally, though, set up one of those flocks, and it will do everything.
I think that would be to your best interest, because then you have the ability to move it wherever you want.
With
if you
that,
have a hotspot.
and with that flock also, the software that they have is insane. And it's well worth it, because trust me, Lowe's wouldn't just set up just a single one to monitor everything that they do.
Right.
If they know something comes out of that store, it hits the flock, the flock hits it. and
Well, I
they
know that
trust it.
also Walmart on Admiral, they utilize that too.
Yeah.
And it's been a lifesaver for them, I do know that.
I think for $12,000, it'd be well worth it, quite honestly.
not having a house out there for anybody to monitor anything, or even hear anything, or.
I think that's something that's probably on her to do too, to make sure.
I think that'd be worth looking into.
Probably the only other thing, well, I've got one other thing on here that was updating regarding golf cart tracking and a plan for the golf carts. So whenever we bought the golf carts, we was gonna add, the monitoring system on it to where it's got a screen in it, basically, and it's like a GPS, so it'll show which way to go to a hole. It will, like, if they wanna order something, they can order it from the cart, goes to the pro shop. But not only that, the best part about it is, so like today, it's a cart path only, I'm assuming, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So if they tried to pull that cart off of that cart path, it'd stop it right there. They have to back up.
Prevents
Instead-
joyriding,
Well, it prevents running
golf course.
golf course and greens and fairways and stuff. And the big deal is those guys get out there, it doesn't look that wet. Well, it is. And even I'll just give you, I'll use Claremore's example. They've got several holes that it says before you get to the hole, hey, cart path only. If you try to pull that thing out there, it will stop. It stops you right there. You gotta wait a minute. It'll say it's okay, and then you put it in reverse, you reverse back, get where you are, and it'll go.
Yeah, it's
But it'd be
geofence.
yeah, it'd be well worth it for for our course.
It really takes care of the golf course, because there's
And
no way.
golf carts, slows them down.
Well, that I can understand that expenditure, but you're talking about, an online ordering stuff from the pro and having them deliver it. I mean, that
They
expense.
don't deliver it, I mean, you pick it up at the golf,
I was
at
gonna
the pro
say,
shop.
Well then, why invest in it when they know they want something? They can just go back to the pro shop and get it. Why have it? the
Yeah,
extra
but it's,
cost built
but it's
in?
this, feature, I mean, like anything.
Just an added feature.
Just an added feature.
No cost.
Well, I mean,
There's a
I-
lot of golf courses.
I didn't know if that was a costly feature or if
No,
that was
you
something
just
that
build it,
was
in-
just.
you just build it in whenever you're doing your stuff.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see something added in where it's very easy for me just to turn the wheel, go back and get what I need and then
Yeah,
resume.
no.
That's not what it's, I mean, that's the way you remedy when somebody gets out there, but what we're really trying to do is keep people from driving on this wet
Oh, no,
course and
that
creating ruts.
I am 100% on
And then
board
we've got to
with,
go
yeah.
fix the ruts.
I guess I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, that's part of it too. I mean, we could put that feature in that system.
The other-
It's all a feature.
Oh, it's-
Yeah,
okay.
the other features they have is tournament operation. You
Yep.
can keep live scoring
So you
on
can
there.
literally build this.
Yeah,
design
it's-
it
yeah,
however
they have
you
so many-
want For one,
So many things that it'll do.
okay.
It helps us track to make sure that if you pay for 9 holes, you only go 9 holes. You pay for 18, you only go
That's,
18.
yeah, that, I
So
can
it
understand.
tracks.
There's lots and lots of positives.
Yeah, you can see all the carts.
Close to the greens and things like that.
You can see if one group's playing slow and holding people up, because
It'll send a message.
it'll send a
Speed up.
message to them. You're 5 minutes behind your pace of play.
Yes, Ron.
So it keeps the pace of play moving without us having to go out there, hey, you need to speed up a little bit, and taking too long.
There's
It-
tons of positive
Yeah,
things
it's
that it does.
lots of,
I mean, that's
tracking.
all that is new to me. I'm not a golfer, nothing
Right.
against golf or anything.
Claremore-
I've never been a golfer.
Claremore has it, Tahlequah has it, a lot of the area courses. have-
Tusa.
Catoosa, yeah, they have it, so.
Okay.
It's
It's
just
a-
so many benefits to that technology.
And it's I mean, we looked at, it's not very expensive to add it to our golf carts.
Didn't we figure that in?
No, we did not on that. That was just we bought the golf carts first, but we had enough money.
Right.
Yeah,
We can do it if we want.
yeah.
I think we need to get a quote on that.
I'll get you a quote for sure by the next meeting. I'll get you a couple
Perfect.
different quotes, different
Be
companies.
interested in
Is
seeing that.
is a monitoring system some type of, you sign up for, you pay monthly, or is it?
Yeah,
all
they-
captive, or it's like a,
But the
They have a
good about it is we can
subscription.
Take it off
sure,
and put it on another golf cart.
yeah.
Yeah, they have a subscription model. Some of them you can buy the unit, and then you just do the satellite subscription by itself.
Okay.
And then some of them, they lease you the equipment, so there's lots of different options there.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah, I
get some
think that's
information.
important to Maybe chase that down.
And get information on both
Yeah.
leases versus
Yeah.
purchasing.
Now we know what cart we have, it's a little easier to,
Plus, if somebody
Figure out.
tries to take off one, or steal one, which we've had happen,
Oh,
it won't start it, it won't do anything after a certain period of time.
yeah, leaves.
He can put in, hey, after this time,
right.
it's no-go.
Do you think that would increase play?
There's some options on there that helps people, because it shows you the hole. We we have a lot of people that never been to our golf course, so it has the GPS system on it, so it shows that, hey, you're 170 yards from this hole, there's a creek up there, a bunker, or whatever. So it has options for the players to really help see where they're going, and so.
Bring more players to the course.
Yeah, it sure, people like it, I know that. You go to the golf courses, I use it. If I go to another golf course, play an event, they have that on there, I turn it on and go.
They are nice. They
Yeah.
are nice.
A lot of features to them,
There
a lot
is.
of benefit to.
Lots of
have-
benefits for it.
Okay, that takes care of that. We talked about bathrooms, about the tracking on the golf carts. All right, the only thing else we have to go over, update regarding golf course, I put situation, and this kind of goes twofold, and it says also updating regarding the A and B Pro Shop contract. What are we doing as far as the A and B contract and the Pro Shop, or the golf course itself?
Mayor, talk to that one, because that's
Donna, you wanna go?
not my wheel.
We can do this together.
Yep.
Hey, Dennis, now go ahead. You're gonna do the pro shop first?
Yep.
So, you jump in whenever you want to.
Okay.
All right, so we met week before last. We asked the council for a 90-day extension to give the Bowmans, give the city time to look at some stuff, specifically, what we're gonna do there. So they took home some homework from that meeting, we took home some homework for that meeting, and I think that's what we're all working on. Things that they need to figure out and plan, things that we need to figure out and plan. Ultimately, Chase gave the council gave me and Chase the responsibility to review and look at these things, and so that's where we're at. That's why we've requested more time, and both parties agreed to that.
So what's the status?
So the current status, the way I understand it, is my contract ends the 30th.
30th
The city
of June?
Yes, like
Okay.
in a week. And the city council voted to extend it 90 days. However, at this point,
This is after they canceled it,
after they canceled it, yes.
then they went back.
Then they came back last week, Tuesday night, and said, let's extend it for 90 days.
Now, is that 90 days from the 30th, starting from the 30th?
be
Or
30
from the time they voted?
It's actually an auto-renewed July 3rd, so it would be 30 days from that time is where we'd go. So
What's the objective of the 90 days?
That's, yeah, I mean.
What is the
from
objective?
my understanding, it is to determine, from the wording that was on the agenda, it's to figure out the continued operation of the Pryor Creek Golf Course Pro Shop.
Yep. So we've got things that we need to figure out. Bowmans have things that they need to figure out. Those were things we discussed with the
So
attorneys.
basically renegotiating the contract with the same people or other people, or I'm lost in all this. I'm kind of on the outside looking in, and there's a lot of reasons maybe for that, and I want to talk about that in a minute.
Sure.
So is it to find some peaceful ground?
Well, if you don't
For
mind, I'll just say like I
continuation,
said
I
the other
mean-
night, I mean, I'm pretty point blank on this. There's a lot of misunderstanding, miscommunication, a lot of false judgment that has taken place about our golf course. If you golf, you're probably not too aware of that. On the outside, there's a lot of I call it a gray cloud. That gray cloud has hovered over it for a long time. We've got to clear that cloud out. We've got city reputation, we've got the golf course reputation, we have Dennis's reputation and Donna's that we all have to work on. It all needs look. This contract,
Those are things in the park board's not really aware of.
I get where you're gonna go with this, and we'll talk it in a minute, but here's the point. We've got things that we have to work on. We've got contracts. I've got a council that hates the word auto-renew, right? If you've missed any council meetings, go back and watch. School contracts, whatever, it's auto-renew, they shut it down. We've got a contract that hasn't been looked at since 2018. This is standard business practice. Any of you that have been in business understand, contracts are held and renewed and reviewed and revised all the time. That has to happen, that's business. It would not be in our best interest as a city to not ever renew contract, to not ever review them. So the city said, we're not renewing this contract right now. We're not doing it. We came back, we said, hey, get some time to get some clear communication between us. We sat down, city, me, Chase, Donna, Dennis, and their attorney, and we talked things out, figured out what we need to do. Like I said, they were given directive. If they want to share that, that's their prerogative. It's not mine to share.
It happened pretty quickly.
It all happened
did.
very quickly.
It happened with no notice, no communication.
So it did. It happened very quickly. And I want to address the elephant in the room is that this board particularly feels like the city violated charter. That is not correct. That is not correct. First of all, the charter says that the city may establish advisory boards for parks, street, and cemetery. It does not mention golf or rec. That said, if you go to our ordinances, and I can pull it up and read it verbatim, but it also says that the hire, fire, and contracts with the parks, specifically with this board, remain strictly with the council and the mayor. Those are our responsibility, not yours. So there was no violation. We would not have moved forward if we were violating the charter. I promise. Mr. McBride would have stopped us dead in our tracks. So,
Mayor, let me ask you something because related to that.
yeah,
I've been on this board for, I don't know how long, 20, 30 years. Worked through 7, 8 mayors, and it's worked a certain way all that time. What's unsatisfactory in your mind about the way the park board's operating that we should change that?
so first of all, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Because, and this is where I'm gonna get pretty firm. Don't put words in my mouth. Never did I say the park board operated unsatisfactory. So if that's been your opinion, Chris, put it somewhere else.
Well, let me ask it this way.
Because
What's making you want to change the way we've operated over the last?
Chris, I don't care how you've operated over time. We're gonna do it the right way, and we're gonna do it the way the charter tells us to do it.
And we haven't been doing it the right way.
I'm not going backwards. I'm telling you, when we looked at this situation, we reviewed what we were legally allowed to do. We talked to the attorney. The attorney gave us his blessing. So when you go to our ordinances, it specifically says that the things that we did lie within the responsibility and the stewardship of the mayor and the council.
I'm not challenging that.
No, but you are when you say, what did we do unsatisfactorily? I didn't say that, nor did I ever implement that. Nor have I ever not had any faith in this board. But there are responsibilities, and I don't care what Jimmy, Chief, I don't care what Larry did. I'm Mayor Doyle, and I'm gonna do the things that it says I'm supposed to do. And if I want to take that route and do it the way that the charter says, or that the ordinance say, then I'm gonna do that. And I have a backing of 8 council members, which that in itself, to have unanimous agreements, is vocal enough. The park board did nothing wrong. The council did what was within their abilities and within their rights and within their stewardship. That's what happened. I'm not speaking for anybody before me or anything before my time. I don't ever do that. What I am saying is we did what it says we're supposed to do with the responsibilities that we've been granted by the law and charter of the city. Now, other decisions and things about the properties and the grounds, and I think I shared this with Keith the other day, and I'll share it with anybody. If you want me to take time to find it, I'll find it. And I'll read to you what it specifically says about the duties of the park board. But it also says that the city and council may create advisory boards. There's no shall in there. If it were a shall, that would have been different.
I don't think anybody has said shall.
Nobody.
All I know is we're changing, or it's been talked about, changing the way we do things.
Chris, there's a lot that's changed in the last 3 years. And a lot of things that we've done where we go back and we consult the books. I promise you, even, I'm gonna bring Hannah. Hannah would not let us do something, I promise you, if we weren't following the way it was supposed to be.
Why are you keep going back to this, that somebody's saying you can't do this. Nobody's saying you can't do this.
Not even, Chris.
But do you think this board, that all of us are donating our time, and we've operated this way, and people that joined this board joined it for reasons, then
So,
we're just curious as to what is it would make you want to change, and that's why I use the word unsatisfactory. There's obviously something that you're wanting to change. Can you tell us why you wanted to change?
I'm going to tell you exactly what I said, Chris, and I think you're reading way too deep into it. I think you're taking something personal that shouldn't be personal. We have the responsibility as a city, mayor, and council to review all contracts with employment and contractors. Anybody that runs a business would be a fool to just let it roll. So you want to ask what, look.
That's not the question I'm asking you.
No.
You're building a straw man. That's called
No.
a straw man argument.
Let me tell you, Chris, I have heard nothing over the last 3 weeks other than members of this committee, I've not gotten any names, but members of this committee think that the city has violated the charter and that we acted illegally and that we don't trust this board and that we did this and we chose the different golf carts and you guys are all pissed off. Let me tell you what, I haven't spoken to any of you but Keith and Mr. Shawless, right? And Sherry. I know not everybody's pissed off. I know that some people understand it. Those that I haven't talked to, I can't speak for, nor will I. But I will say that when something comes across as a responsibility of the city to do the right thing or to do what they should be doing in a contract, for example, and this is nothing that she's done wrong or that Dennis has done wrong. In fact, we came out and cleared them completely. I sat right there Tuesday night, and I was very vocal about it. But any contract, whether it's a health insurance, whether it's an electrician, whatever it is, we have the responsibility to review those from time to time. In almost 10 years of auto renewal, the city should look at contracts and say, wait, what do we have? So now I'm saying, let's add to that. We see, I don't know if you guys see it, we see a gray cloud with the public. I see things where, heaven help this man look at anybody cross, and he's automatically sentenced to hell from the public. I don't like that. He's our employee. I don't like that. This board may not see that, but it happens. So my responsibility as his employer, as the mayor of this town, the biggest advocate of this town, is to say, we've got to get rid of that. We've worked on Main Street with that problem. Why it's there, I can't tell you. We've worked with MAPE on that problem, and oh my gosh, I don't know what it was, but something, MAPE, horrible. The same thing with this golf course, Chris, and anybody on this board should be understanding of, we're trying to help the situation become clear. I've been very clear that there will also be a rebranding of the golf course, and it won't be a new name, it'll just be the new city logo that we've done. All of those things help paint a better picture of something that we're doing, and it show visual change. The council saying, hold up. A month and a half before we had that meeting that we said, we're not renewing this contract, Chase and I were given the responsibility to review that contract. And in that reviewing, around first week of May, we saw that it auto-renewed July 30th with 30 days written notice. We had the right to put that on hold. That left us with about 2 weeks. There's scheduling and open meeting act laws that we had to follow, and as quick as we could do that, and I'm sorry that fell when they went on vacation. But we had time. We had a time frame to meet. We went to Chase and said, do we need to take it through this? And he said, absolutely not. That should be the responsibility of the mayor and the council. And we did that. That's why, yes, sir.
Was the, no, I don't want to put this, was the urgency of the meeting, is that why I haven't been on the board here long.
Sure.
Okay, and what routinely, and I know we're just advisory, but everything kind of flows through and we talk about it and pass it on, and what's decided. You know, we decided we wanted the more expensive carts, okay? It put Dennis in an awkward position because he's going, well, no, we shouldn't be spending money. But we decided to do that, and you didn't go with that, and that's okay.
Well,
But
quick timeout. When you
why
say,
would that not have come before us? Was it so urgent that it couldn't come before us? Is that why you didn't come before us?
because the responsibility of that was not yours.
Pardon me?
The responsibility of that decision was not yours. That's the response.
To review the contract and make.
To say we're not doing it because it's considered an employment situation. It's not within the purview of this board to handle the hiring and firing or the renewal of contracts for employments. Now you can do, it's very specific. It says the contracts for like the golf carts, things like that. Those contracts, yes. But when it comes to personnel of any kind, it is not. And that's why we made that decision. Now you bring up the golf carts because I want to address this as well. You know, we followed the process on that. And whether this board recognizes it or not, I had a much bigger hand in that situation in clearing the air on that. And Dennis and I have talked quite a bit about that because there were rumors about Bowman's have family that works for Yamaha and all these just nonsense rumors that have been out there over the years, right? And, you know, Sherry asked a very direct question one meeting, and I was like, good job.
It still seems to me, okay, that the prudent handling of this would have been to voice something to the park board that we gotta look at the contracts and make some recommendations. And, you know, I think that would have avoided a lot of, you know, if you don't know the story, I'm gonna tell you, if you don't know the story, okay, we were bypassed, and then everybody talks and if you don't know the story, you're gonna make your own story up. And that's scary. And that's what you're kinda saying is happening here. Okay, and I can buy into that a little bit. But, you know, let me tell you my perspective, new on this board, on what happened, and I don't even know how it's supposed to work. My assumption would have been, well, there would have been something concerned about the contract, or they wouldn't have just up and canceled it, and why didn't it come to us? And so as an outsider looking in, when I look at this as the park board was bypassed, okay? That's how I would look at it.
Yeah, I respect your point of view.
This is my perspective, okay? It was bypassed, and we were put in a position to try to defend, try to figure it out. And then we hear some stories about, well, nobody knew, okay? Even the contractual people didn't know. And it was all like happening bam, bam, bam. And the contractor people were on vacation, they couldn't be there, nobody could be there, we couldn't react, we didn't know. People call me and I go, I haven't a clue what's going on, shouldn't you? I said, well, I would think I would, but careful, and whether it was intentional or not, I don't know whether the bypass was intentional or all these things were intentional, but you can read into that, and you might say, well, the effect of that everybody on this whole thing was muzzled. Okay?
You could feel that way, I'm
Except the
sure.
city council and the mayor, okay? And if you look at that, you kind of go, God, that's not the way you
So
wanna
let me ask you something, Ron, and I'm gonna ask all of you. If you all wanna answer, I'll listen to all 6 answers.
I'm just being open
I appreciate
think
that,
people
and I-
out there see, and that's how I felt.
Okay.
And I kind of
So-
still wonder about all that.
So let's take a look at the other side, and I don't think this was really the intention of the meeting tonight, but we can do it, I'm here. I'm on the clock. What the heck? Right? So, as an advisory board, your guys' and ladies' job is to advise, to give your advice to the council, who has the ultimate decision-making ability. They are the elected officials. So, let's go back and let's just circle back to the golf carts for an example, and then we'll wrap that right back into this contract. You guys did your due diligence, did we not? Did we not look at all of the golf carts? Did we not look things up? We had a long conversation about decibels. I remember that one. It was a very long, painful meeting. And in that meeting, and I think I sent it to Keith and possibly you, Chris, I got over here and Googled, which cart has the better resale value? What cart has the better resale value? And I sent a screenshot of that up, and it was contrary to what you guys said, but I didn't say anything. I just kind of laughed that it was the club cars had the better with the aluminum frames, gave much better resale value. That was that same Google search that this board talked about. That's fine. Wasn't my decision to get in the middle of, right? I didn't have any influence on that, but I did say, why don't we get those carts up here? Let's let the council drive it. Remember that? And those carts sat out here.
A week.
Sat out here. I don't know who came up and wrote on them, but I did. Because I thought that was another visual. Look, if there's any rumors to be had in Pryor by people who just don't come and ask, my door is an open door. Those people that came and rode those carts all came to the same conclusion. But your advisory position is you did exactly what you were supposed to do. There's nothing defunct in what you did. There's nothing wrong in what you did. But a council of elected officials felt differently. If you guys, and I respect every one of you when I say this, but the reality is an advisory committee is not a final decision committee. And if the council of elected officials feels different, they're going to vote different. And I'm not a voting member of that unless it's a tie break. I had no influence on that. But
Mayor, I would say the reason that you knew something about that
About
is
what?
because this board sat and discussed those golf carts for over 2 hours, and we put a lot of information out there for the public to look at.
And 100%, Chris,
And
you
we
did
challenged
well.
each other, but did we see that? I mean, if you're talking about, let's talk about in the best interest of the city.
Yeah, let's go there.
Let's go there. The best interest of the city and the best interest of the golfers. You were privy to all this discussion that had up here. Did you guys have that kind of discussion
I
on the
shared
council?
everything that was discussed in here.
No, I'm asking you, did the council?
Would you let
Did
me
they have the
answer?
same
Chris?
information?
If
to
you're
go
not
out
gonna
there?
let me answer a question, then damn it, don't ask me. Don't ask me if you're not gonna let me answer. That's rude. Everything that
You're
was shared,
rude.
I'm not talking to you right now. When we are given information, that information is shared, and if you don't think that the council doesn't watch these meetings, you're wrong. I promise after this meeting, by tomorrow, I'll have 3 calls from council members who are watching, and they will have questions, and they come in and they ask, and we discuss. We have communication. We talk about these things. They're doing their research too. They're not just a bunch of guys that come up and go, here I am. They're actually working for the better of the city. They're trying to make the best decisions. And you know, I'm going to tell you, their decision was based solely on Google reviews and price. And then when we had that meeting where they had to make their decision, Dennis brought the Cub Cadet rep with him. And that was the decision that they made. They have the right to do that, and they have the right to make those decisions. And when we talk about things like contracts, like Donna's contract, what happens when this board says, we don't feel it needs reviewed ever? That's our recommendation to the council. And the council goes, well, but we disagree and we're going to review it. Again, we haven't taken your advice, and you guys feel like we've left you on the outside.
You're making straw mans again. Did anybody say the contract shouldn't be reviewed? Here's what we would tell you is,
You asked
we've never
why.
been given the contracts to look at them.
That contract.
Because they were signed by
Chris,
the mayor.
Chris, that contract is available for anybody that walks up here and asks for it. I'm not gonna lick and stick an envelope and put it in your mailbox just because I think you might want it. You have to come and ask, just like everybody else. Keith has come up here and we've had many conversations about things.
And he's the chairman.
Right,
That we use him as the point person.
good. But he's not the only one that has to come and talk to me. You have the same ability, and I would have just as much respect for you as I do for him or for Pam or for Sherry or anybody else that comes and talks. But I know, and you guys know, who's been in my office to talk about these things and who hasn't. When the council comes up here and makes a decision, I guarantee you, I cannot influence this council. This is not a yes man council. For decades, there have been, off and on, yes men, yes women councils. A lot of great people have served this community, and every one of them gave of their time and their service to do what they feel passionate about, just like you guys. Not once have I ever discredited anybody's volunteer service. And you'll find I live a very strong motto that every effort is appreciated. But what I can't do is I can't say, I get that this is how it's always been, but the laws and ordinances of the city say that it's our responsibility. And if we shirk that, that's not on you guys, that's on me. And I'm gonna go to bed saying, I followed this the best I could. And if it ruffled a few feathers, I'm sorry, that's not the intent. The thing is, there's a reason that this board, the rec board, all of those boards have very specific responsibilities and things lined out in the charter and in the ordinances. Because we need to make sure that we're not doing things that interfere with the daily administrative business of the city. And that's no different whether we're a city or a Fortune 500 business. There's advisory boards here. Main Street has an advisory board outside of their board. And they don't have to take everything that that board says. We appreciate every meeting you guys sit in here and talk. And there are so many times I listen to the conversations, even if I'm not here, I'm listening. That's the wonderful thing about 2026. I don't have to be in this room to be a part of the meeting. And I listen, and there's a lot of times I tell the council, guys, no, listen, this is why they say this. And I go to bat for everybody's opinion, but I do the same for the council. If Bruce sits over here and says, well, I think that's dumb. Okay, Bruce, talk to me. Come in and talk to me and tell me why you think it's dumb. Keith and I have had many of those where he says, Mayor, I love you, but I disagree. Well, okay, talk to me.
Can you give me a little bit of insight? as to why the council wouldn't have considered a 90-day extension on the onset instead of all of a sudden just saying it's canceled?
I think first was, let's put everything on hold. And we immediately went back as soon as we had the opportunity to meet with them, and they were back. And the other element to that was, under legal direction, I needed to make sure that the letter got to them, right?
The letter.
The letter. I had to send them a letter. You got a letter from me, certified.
Register letter.
After the vote, because there'd been no communication, I sent the letter out, which also
She sent it
stated-
on Sunday,
I
and-
sent the letter because some of the things that got said within the council meeting, the night that the special meeting, I didn't agree with. And so I thought, no, I'm not, there has to be a formal letter. I knew that that was the legal way to handle it. And
That's what it says.
honestly, whenever the vote happened,
Formal letter of what?
a formal letter of non-renewal.
It's a
of the
certified,
contract.
from her, we got one, and we got one from her.
And
That's-
they sent
So
me
I don't
one
know the
also.
I don't know the legalism here, but could the council have taken a position to extend it 90 days? that
No,
night?
not that way.
No.
Because
You,
of the, just
you got,
It
legal.
had
you
to
got
have either
it,
been
one or the other.
decided upon before the special meeting that, hey, it's time to review it. That's what never happened.
Okay.
They had a special meeting instead of having any communication with me to even give me an indication that there was gonna be, hey, we'd like to look at this again. I would have appreciated some conversation and notification, rather than just, yeah, being on vacation and then I get a message that says, did you know that they're having a special meeting about your contract?
Yeah.
From a text
Yeah,
message,
I
and so
think
we
just
watch
for-
it and it's like, you're canceled.
Just from my perspective, you know, some handling of this, with just a call or a
Yes.
contact and some insight, this is what we're gonna do, this is what
Well,
we're gonna
fair
do.
enough.
To all the parties.
Everybody.
Would have just.
It would have gone a
simply
long
been
way
A lot
with me.
healthier,
Well,
you know,
one,
way to handle it.
one thing, looking back and going through a lot of stuff, having lots of conversations, I think everything was a perfect storm, if there's any way to describe it, unfortunately. And, you know, I don't believe 100% in, the council has very much, you know, buy into what we say at times, and there has been a couple, the counselors has very strong opinion, but that's okay. At the end of the day, they're doing their job whenever they're doing it, unfortunately. And it was just, I've looked back at it, I've talked to everybody in town, and section 59 is where is where it says in the actual charter where the mayor shall.
I don't think anybody's arguing with that.
No, I know, I'm just trying to say,
A little bit of communication.
Yes.
I think it was everything, I think everything was,
Level out.
Okay, so
I
here,
don't think there's any way, I've literally looked at it inside and out, and you and I have watched the videos, I can't tell you how many times. And I don't know, yeah, there probably should have been some communication from the council or somebody say, hey,
Well, my
Heads up.
guess is, there's terms and conditions in that contract, as there is with any contract. The terms and conditions of that contract between two parties, I'm going back on my contract law training, is that the two of you they have to give you notice. They just can't give you notice one day and say you're out of here the next day. There's usually at least a 30-day
30
window.
day.
What happened is the city found out they were gonna go cancel this contract, made that decision, and then they found out, whoa, we don't have.
We can't wait.
We can't,
So
yeah,
we
we
have
didn't
to
do
do
the
it
30 days.
let me throw another element in this that has caused some of the hiccup. And, you know, here's one of the things Chase loves to tell this council, and we all laugh about it. We go to executive sessions. Chase loves to tell the council, let's not teach people how to sue us. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, I'm just building up to it. Please. But here's the point. The difference between this person and this person are numbers. 1099, W-2. We cannot discuss anything. We can't make any decisions on her contract, period, in an executive session. It all has to be handled here. And unfortunately, the situation is, and I hear, noted 1,000 times, we'll work on the communication. But the problem is, at some point in this scenario, we knew off the bat that somehow we had to rip that Band-Aid off, and it was gonna be public, and it was gonna be painful. We had the meeting. right? It is. There was a whole lot of, and I'm just gonna say, whole lot of BS from all across the board about this was retaliatory to a situation.
Yeah.
I have been more than vocal, I have been more than clear, and I will fall on that sword every freaking day. This man had 8 council members and myself that stated he did his job. The process, yes, requires me as the employer, as it would anybody else, to do some research, dig in it, and do some investigating. Fortunately for this scenario, where was I that morning? Right behind him. I was this close behind him. I was there. Keith, you saw, I was there. Because I was given a little bit of a heads up that something might happen. I don't like that. That gives me emotion that it was probably a scenario that somebody already knew was going to happen. And at the end of the day, I have talked to the Claremore superintendent, I have talked to our superintendent, I've talked to OSSAA, I've talked to the Bowmans, I've talked to Dennis, I've talked to law enforcement. Honestly, I'm tired of talking about a situation where the city created rules and then hired a man and said, your job is to uphold those rules, you are the marshal of the course. He does his job, and we come back and go, well, damn it, no, it's not fair to him. He did his job.
Mayor, let me ask you a question, because you just dropped a bombshell here. You said somebody notified you that something might happen.
I was notified that things could get rough in the morning because there's a school tournament, and that was not anything new.
What was that? Who would have notified you?
Listen, the point is, I went down there and I stood there.
I'd like to know.
Not for right now.
Doesn't that raise some suspicion in your
Why do you
mind?
think I went there? That's what I'm saying. That's why I showed up. I was there before it happened. And I
But
saw
I mean,
what happened.
somebody notified you before an event happened. You know what that sounds like to me?
What do you
Sounds
think?
like entrapment.
What do you think it sounded like to me? And that's why I backed this man. all
Well, how
along.
come that, has that been put out in public?
That's not for the public.
I think
That's
we
not
could-
for the public?
Listen, please, can we get back to the subject here? The point is, at the end of the day, all of that research, all of that stuff that was done was cleared. He did no wrong, and I stand behind that. And I won't tolerate that to be brought up again without calling somebody out and saying, you're
Not many
full of
people
gossip.
know that,
What's that?
what you just said.
Oh, then they haven't paid attention to any meetings, because I was very vocal about that.
Okay.
No, I think it's in regard to the fact that you knew about it in advance, and you didn't tell your department head. You didn't tell him.
There's a lot of
So he
things
would be
that,
prepared to handle it. I feel like he got set up. Everybody takes a previous situation, says, here, let's just push his buttons, and then let's see him go off, and then he can be fired.
but that wasn't the case.
Well, are there any other
Listen,
facts?
hang on, time out.
Well, that's
Time
the
out.
story- That's the
Slow
story
down.
people write.
Here's the deal. I can live on everybody's perspective all day long, but I am sharing the reality of these situations. There are a lot of things with every employee situation that take place that we have to dig into, and those things never come to fruition because they're not important. But what I'm saying is important is that we cleared it. This has nothing to do with anything. It's nothing to do with it. The fact that we're talking about it right now chaps my butt because it's not pertinent to what is even on the agenda. I clearly noted that communication can be better. It's noted. But snapshot and move forward, what are we gonna do? We're gonna review this. We're gonna do what me and Chase were tasked to do. I would only hope that the Bowmans are gonna do what they were tasked to do. And I purposely haven't said those because it's not my place to speak about their homework. That's up to them. That's their business. But they have things they need to talk about. We have things we need to look at. We're looking at all the different scenarios. What happens if this woman goes away? We have to talk to the ABLE Commission. We have to talk about software. We have to talk about inventories. We have to talk about employees. We have to have all of those things together. And just because we're doing that research, by no way, shape, or form ever means that we're planning on kicking Donna to the curb. I have to know who's going to be my successor when Buddy Glenn retires at the street department and how that's going to be done. When BK, my fire chief, goes, who's getting that position? And is it based on skill and merit, or is it based on seniority? Because I don't know that every scenario, seniority is always going to be the best thing for the city. So by golly, we've taken those things and we've addressed them publicly, and there's feathers ruffled everywhere. But we have to do that process.
So Donna, the way it stands now, back to what we were talking about, you're gonna be there for the next 90 days. It's status quo. You're gonna
We
keep
have
doing
not
it.
come to an agreement regarding the extension. We have not signed anything regarding the extension. I've had no communication since the vote the other night, which to me, I feel like that has to happen. There has to be something new signed after June 30th for me to
So
be there.
in all fairness, Chase and I have had some discussions, but we haven't had public meeting with the council. That hasn't happened yet since that meeting where we sat down and visited. We requested the 90-day extension, and that was just last Tuesday.
And
But-
you're,
And I was out of town, let me remind you, I will take this one, I was out of town Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Well, I do know I was at.
Friday, I was here
council
working on the
meeting,
holiday.
And you were there, and I was listening to, in your defense, you do have that council record, them voting in your favor for the 90-day extension. So that, in happenstance, is like saying, here's a piece of paper, until we get this piece of paper, you've got that recording, you've got that video that clearly states that you're gonna get that 90 days. They're on,
Exactly, but a contract is between two parties.
oh, I understand that. And
So
I fully
let me just say
understand
this
that.
here,
But let me ask you
Yes.
this, going from this point on, let's kind of jump back on the track a little bit here. Okay, the 90 days starts, okay, as of the
I assume
end.
July 1st.
It'll
Correct.
start at the date
That's
that
the
the previous
date.
contract with.
And the
So
previous
you've got
ends
90
June
days from
30th.
that point. Now, like any other, like, I've dealt with bargaining units, okay? Being a policeman for 20 years, I dealt with FOPs, this, that, and the other, okay? I know how to sit down with government and negotiate a contract, okay? But we're also given designated times so that we can all continue to meet in advance. That way, we kind of get a stance where you stand, where he stands, and you guys can come together and negotiate. Okay, you want 2 beans, he wants 3. Okay, what are you gonna give up in order to get your 3 beans and your 2 beans? Okay, I understand how that works. But you're also gonna give him a date, or vice versa, saying, we will meet on July 12th.
Right, and we came out of
And
that
at this
meeting,
particular time.
neither
You guys-
party had that date when we left that meeting the other day, so
Right, now I
respectfully,
understand Tuesdays.
I
it was
I
just
need some
announced.
time to visit with Chase. Again, I was out of town last week. Friday was a holiday, I was actually here, I apologize. I was here all day Friday, working on some other things. But I need that time with Chase, they've
Sure,
got their
and
stuff.
they need to
It
be
will
with their
happen, the
counsel.
communication will happen. The communication will more than likely happen. I'll give Chase instruction and he'll notify their attorney, something like, that's how these things are typically done.
But as long as the two of
There's
you are
no-
on the same page as far as knowing how to contact one another
Got
within a
it.
reasonable time period, that way you guys can continue to negotiate in good faith going forward. Okay,
Mm-hmm. And that's the
that's
intent.
the ultimate goal, is you want a good outcome that satisfies both parties.
Right.
Okay, do we always get what we want? No. We give up a little to get a little, it happens. Gotta make concessions. That's what you hope it comes out to.
Let me ask you, David, as a park board member, and in your previous experience, if you're in a situation where a contract was expiring in a week or 2 weeks, wouldn't that be a critical, especially if it's an operating contract where you're providing services to the public? And wouldn't you make that a priority? To sit down and say, we need to start having these discussions?
Before the contract ends.
Because who wants to work without a
I mean,
contract?
ultimately, that would be the end goal. That's what you really want to do when you're negotiating an upcoming contract. You want to give yourself at least 6 months to look at a contract and say, hey, oh my God, we're coming to the end of this. We need to sit down and count our beans. Okay? And then either put them on hold or what. That's the ideal situation. Now,
This is,
Did-
let
but
me,
did-
let me add something here to that, because you're making a good, this is the process by which we collect revenues and fees at the golf course.
and I understand.
Without this, it shuts down.
Oh,
And so,
I don't think the golf course itself is going to totally shut down.
well, if,
But
Those
would
are all
it be,
hurt.
would it be hurt in the interim?
Well,
Yes.
these are all her employees.
My staff.
The contractor
Oh,
owns the
and no,
employees.
but that gets back to what the mayor was saying. You know, I have to look at possible having employees. I've got to look at inventory. I've got to look at all this. Yeah, is that going to be a cost to him? Absolutely.
Gotta
It's
hire
going to be a
people.
cost to you, every one of us that sits here as tax-paying citizens. Absolutely, it's going to hurt us all in some way, shape, or form. It's going to hit us in the wallet.
Yes.
It will hit us in the wallet.
Bless you.
You know, whether you meet budget, you don't meet budget, they're gonna have to sit down and discuss how they're gonna put it all together. And if you're adding employees now because she's got her employees,
Hold on a minute. The employees, the revenue that we have out there, they would come out of that. They would never hit the city of Pryor's budget, ever.
well, is,
They
but
would
if they got rid of their company altogether and made it to where it was all, just like Dennis is an employee of the city of Pryor. Okay, he's under his purview. Okay, she is not under his purview. She is by contract.
Yeah, but
And let me just say something, and I know
I
what,
think that's right. Is that right? They wouldn't be city employees?
Well,
Yeah, my employees are.
They're your
mine,
employees,
and
but
they-
if you
they
leave
have
though,
lived under,
if you leave though and take your employees,
yeah,
He would have to hire them.
if
He's gotta-
she leaves,
the city has to hire somebody to do that work.
hang on,
Yeah, so they would become city employees. So yeah, is there a cost to him? Absolutely.
So
Is there
here-
a cost to the taxpayer? Absolutely. I mean, it's just,
Now, of
it
course-
hits no matter which way you look
The
at it.
question you
Is
could
that
ask is,
well, give me a second to speak.
okay.
So here's the discussions that I've already had on my side, right? And respectfully, she's got great employees, and those employees run a great pro shop. They do. You know, those kids that run those registers, those kids that stock those shelves, they know their job. They do a great job. I have years of retail behind me, and those kids do a great job. If it came down to Donna deciding to leave, and we needed people to run that pro shop, we would kick them over to temp employees, and we would keep them working. I don't feel that any employee of the golf course should lose their job because we can't figure out a contract. That said, this is how this process works. I mean, we need to just listen to the conversation that's being had. Step one, we have to make notification. Okay, noted, there could have been some better communication from all sides. Noted, right? So step two is, we have to let that legal notification take place. I sent her hers, I got the returned receipt. I even told Ann, I said, I'm not saying a word to anything until I get that receipt back from the mail that says she got that letter. That's fair to her. For me not to make any calls, any decision, anything there, no judgments till she has that notification. That is the legalese way that needs to be handled. She sent us a letter on Sunday via an email. That's fine. That's how she chose to do it. We accepted that letter. Now we're in this stage where the next step was exactly what happened. And I'm sure some people would rather it happen a hell of a lot faster, but there's more than one thing taking place in our city right now. So as fast as we could, we scheduled it up. We had a couple days where I tried to say, hey, you know, when they were busy, they had full days. And I said, no, we really need to have that up here in the administrative building of the city. That's where those things are handled. Not where, again, just think of this scenario, right? You're a naysayer. You've got this understanding that all this nonsense happens at the golf course, and you see the mayor, an attorney, and the golf pro walk into an office and close the door. How's that gonna look? Probably not favorable for any of those parties. It needs to be here in the administrative offices of the building, of the city. So as soon as we could schedule that meeting, we found a time, or their attorney, our attorney, we got it together. I feel like this is kind of, we're beating around the bush, but the point is, we've sat down and we've talked. They know, we know where we're at, but we've got homework to do, and the city will do that. They've got theirs to do, and in a few days, a week, we'll sit down and say, hey, we're ready for another get-together. We've got some stuff to ask.
you know, Mayor, I've got to say this. You just said something that we may take, see, it's an independent contractor that we have made an agreement with the city. They provide a service. It's detailed terms and conditions in that contract. And you're saying we may void our contract, not renew our contract with the contractor, but we may hire their employees.
No, you're,
Hey, this is on videotape. We can go back and
Chris.
look at it.
look,
What did you say?
I'll tell you what I said.
Okay.
Here's the deal. We would not let those employees just be terminated and out to the wind. No matter what,
They're the contractors.
Chris.
They're the contractors.
Listen
You're just
to me.
making erroneous statements.
Okay, I'll speak to everybody else, but not to Chris. The idea is that employees of that golf pro shop are respectfully Donna's. But if things were to happen and Donna were to go away, I would give all of those employees the option to stay employed at the golf course and come on as a temporary employee of the city. We have the right and ability to do that as the employer, as the one that that golf course is the city of Pryor Creek's golf course. We have the authority to say, listen, we still need somebody in that golf pro shop, even though there may not be much in there. We still need somebody to check people in, to do these things. And I would give those employees the ability to do that. With Donna's contract and the way that was set up way before I was here, I'm sure you were on the board, but way before my time, that was set up and that was established that way. I don't have any say in how that happens in the past. What I am saying is, I don't want those employees to lose their jobs if the Bowmans decide to go away. We're still gonna have to provide services at that golf course. At that point, we could say, hey, these 10, right? I think you've got
10 now. We've had one
Right.
quit because
Sure.
my employees have lived for the last, since that happened, that vote, of what happens
Whatever.
now.
Yeah.
And so I've told them, we told them right after we had heard about the meeting where they voted to not renew the contract, we had a meeting with my staff and told them, guys, this is what happened. They did not renew my contract after 25 years.
That's all you
They
knew.
didn't. Yeah, that's all I knew.
know
They
anything
didn't
else?
renew it. So at
But I
this
don't-
point in
listen,
time,
I don't- oh,
I
sorry.
stated that I want the best for you guys. If you need to leave and go find other employment, I understand. If you can hang with us, that's great. If something, we don't know what's gonna happen in the meantime, and we still really don't know. But I have staff who's, they're like, well, they're looking at elsewhere.
Well,
Can I,
And trying to
Yeah,
hang in.
I've been real quiet all day, just listening and all this. And it talks about, in our agenda here, it talks about regarding the golf course situation. And that situation does revolve around what happened in the middle of May, in my opinion. And the people that have called me and said, it looks like this situation happened, and then the city took this action. It's what people calling me and telling me, this is look what happened. They're trying, just let me finish. They're trying to get the Bowmans. And the Bowmans, in my opinion, have done a great service to our county and to our town. The money they've raised for fundraising, the thing they've done for the city of Pryor's employees when they couldn't get a bonus. Dennis runs a tournament to help raise. They have been wonderful employees and have developed a golf course that is one of the best in our area. And I think their name's being dragged through the mud in my, and here's what I'd like to know. We're trying to find truth today, okay? And there's a lot of truth out there that I don't know, but I hear. I would like to hear Dennis and Donna's version of what happened in May. I have not heard the truth. I've heard things. I would like to hear their side of the story.
I'd love to let them say it.
It was April 23rd.
Okay, sorry, wrong,
Was the
but
day, just because it was, our lives since that day, we immediately got put in, and I'm speaking now, it wasn't honestly, Dennis is the one who needs to speak, because it was regarding Dennis and his position. He's the one who needs to speak, but yeah, we've been in the paper, we've been on Facebook.
I know, and
I have battled people and everybody, I get it thrown in my face constantly on Facebook, well, you've been canceled.
well, here's what I'd like you to know. I've read all that, okay, and I know everybody probably here has too, but I know there's more to the story than what just
Yes.
people are doing out here. And I'm out of respect for you all,
Thank you.
and yeah, respect for what you all have done, not only for the golfers and for the town of Pryor. I want to hear what happened, Dennis, and I want the truth. I know you'll tell me the truth. But I want all my rumors that I know, I want them to evaporate, so I know what the truth is.
So here's the situation, referring to the coach and the water.
Yeah.
Right, so, I'm standing out on the rail, everything's going great that morning, the kids are, everything's just going smooth. You know, this coach comes carrying this big old red cooler, and he goes to put it on his golf cart that he'd already rented. We have him sign a piece of paper, not gonna bring any coolers, because, you know, we don't know what's in them. It's not the first person, you know, we've caught coaches out there in the past with alcohol, right? Which I thought was the worst situation you could have, a coach having alcohol, carrying prior kids to the golf course, to tournaments. And this is, I kinda, you know, when you see somebody in that position with alcohol dealing with kids, I mean, it goes through me. Well, then you got somebody, well, he carries his cooler out there, and I said, Coach, you can't bring your cooler, just like that. And then Coach Arnold's standing 10 feet down. He says, Dennis, I told him. I don't know. So, okay.
Told him at a coaches meeting or something?
He told him, yeah, he always tells him in advance.
Okay.
He can't bring the cooler. He always tells him in advance.
Gotcha.
25 years of this, right?
Right, okay. I just
So-
wanna, I wanna know the.
So
I
the
wanna know the
coach
routine.
knows, he's all for it, he understands our situation, and, so I guess he didn't hear me, so I just walk over there calmly, tell him, say, hey, you know, we don't allow the coolers on the golf course, and immediately, he jumps on me, what are you gonna do about it? I go, oh, you know, it's against our rules. I can show you our rules, we just can't do it. Coach said he told you you can't bring coolers. You're not touching my cooler. Okay, that's fine, I'm not touching your cooler. This is our rules, if you don't wanna abide by them, I'll get the police out here and let them handle it. I said it just like that. He just said, do whatever you gotta do. Okay, I just calmly walked in the pro shop, I wasn't gonna stay out there with him. Called the police, hey, we got a situation out here. Mayor was in there, which, like, oh, hey, Mayor. So, police get there, show him, and they just had him stand, we have that big board with all of our rules posted. Said, here's our rules, it's on the video cam from the police officers, here's our rules, he doesn't wanna abide by them. I don't know how, y'all handle it however you wanna handle it. So the athletic director was there, and he says, well, do I need to put more money in his account so he can buy water from you? And I said, no, he don't need to do that. He just can't bring his cooler. He can take his water. So they discussed a little bit, and then I look around, he's got his cooler, and he puts his water in the cart, and he takes the ice and just throws it on the tee box and stomps out to the parking lot with his cooler.
So you didn't deny him water?
I've never denied any child water, anybody, that's never happened. That's the false narrative that gets on Facebook and the paper, the PIP, and which that's a whole nother lawsuit possibility right there.
Sounds like a vigilante mob was trying to,
Yeah, it was a set-up deal. So several people have told me it was a set-up deal.
What school was this?
Claremore. So,
Let me, and I don't wanna do hearsay, but there's several people on the city council or close to the city council who were spreading a different story.
Yeah, so,
Just gonna tell you, I mean,
and I thank you for telling me that, and I've been very vocal. Dennis and I have had, what, how many, 20, 30, we sit down all the time. We talked Friday just even. You came up Friday, right?
yeah.
We sat down and we've talked about all of this. Now, respectfully, like any employer with any situation, with any employee, I have to make documentation of those conversations, right? Those conversations are just strictly noted in Dennis's file. There's no disciplinary, in fact, it says no disciplinary action taken on this event, da-da-da-da-da. I saw the coach's overreaction. At one point, I remember he even had that cooler up like this, and he was, I mean, And I did talk to Dennis at the course after, try to get some understanding. And we've talked about it since. And I'm gonna tell you, exactly what he said is exactly what I saw. And I'm not gonna go into the details of an executive session. That I have to be careful of. That's law above me. But the point is we came out of that executive session with no action because there was no action to be taken. The thing that we did do was we realized in all of the due process that we do, we realized that there was a window of opportunity for us to try to fix a scenario, to go back and fix this gray cloud. And in fact, our attorney said to me, well, Captain, that's awful nice of you to fall on the sword, but it's policy, not law. And I said, no, I'm the mayor. You remember this? I said, I'm the mayor. We should have been ahead of this. And if we created those rules, you guys didn't create that rule. It's not something I'm gonna pin on you. The city of Pryor Creek created that rule. In the 80s, whenever we did that, I don't know, heck. We gave the mandate to our employee to uphold that rule. And so as the employer, I said, listen, we created that rule. We put him in a situation, we're gonna change it. And that's when we immediately changed the rules and we made those annotations that was gonna be fixed and rectified. Again, no disciplinary action. There was none needed. There was none warranted. And I have more than once been very vocal about that because I feel it's important to help. Remember I said at the beginning, try to clear that gray cloud anywhere I can. The problem is, Ron, and you said it, and I'm not throwing my counsels, I'm not even saying there are so many different rumors because that's what we do. People get on, whether it's this or that social media, or they just start, or they're out there drinking, or Lord knows what they're doing. I don't know, sitting at Mama's restaurant. I don't care. But rather than doing their research, they come up with what they think happened, and that becomes what doctrinally happened in their mind. And I'm telling you, the story that I shared with Keith is exactly, and you were in the executive session representing the park board. That is exactly what Dennis just shared. Okay? To the T, right?
And the city council members are fully aware.
They have all been fully made aware of the
It was,
situation.
anybody's
When
back
we-
there.
When we came out of that executive session, that's why no action was taken. Now, are there strong opinions? Listen, there's strong opinions on this board. There's strong opinions on the city council. There's strong opinions down at Carl Jr. in the morning. I have no control over that. What I have control over is making sure that I do my part to make sure that if he did no wrong, that's loud and clear. If there's a gray cloud over the golf course that doesn't deserve to be there because of those kind of things like you addressed, again, not pointing fingers, but misinformation, miscommunication, I have the responsibility as the mayor to say, listen, that wasn't the case. This was the case. I was there. And Chris, I apologize for getting loud with you, but understand, I'm gonna be very passionate and very bold on this situation because of the protections that need to be in place. The protections from the executive session, the protections that belong to these two, the protections that belong to the council, and to the golfers, to the employees. I have all those aspects that these two have to look at as well. And in that, that's why we consulted with our legal attorney, Chase, and he said that we were operating the way that we should have done it, and that there was no wrongdoing. Now, when we sat down with the Bowmans and their attorney to talk about things, I was very clear on how things are gonna look and what we need to do. And I even told him in there, did I not bring up the gray cloud? That was the whole idea, is we've gotta get rid of this. It's not fair to anybody, even you guys, to have this cloud of misinformation. But it doesn't do any good when we can't even sit down like adults and have a conversation without just berating one another. And the point is, there were things as an employer that I had to protect, and I will protect till the day I'm gone. That's my responsibility legally and ethically. There's things here that processes we had to do, noted, all parties, respectfully, we probably could have communicated some extra stuff, but here we are, we're going forward. We've had those communications. I've given my promise, and I don't break my promises, to do my research and find out what I need to find out. They've got their stuff, that's on them, and I will give them as much time as they need to make those things that they need to do. But in the meantime, we came to the council, we sat down, we said, okay, 120 days, 60 days, 90 days, and in that discussion, we said 90 days. We chose the 90 days.
Is that long enough?
If it's not, we'll ask for more.
Okay.
But the point is that's the process, is we agree on an extension, hey, we want to extend it a little more. Now, at some point, as the city entity, we're gonna have to say,
And
Here's
the,
the date.
we need a
and
deadline.
the objective, again, is an amicable solution with the existing contracting party on the contract changes.
Yeah,
That's the objective.
well, and respectfully,
I mean,
respectfully,
I just want to be real sure.
Ron, would you,
Somebody's-
Because
Be
I
more-
would have a question there too, because the wording in the vote the other night was to figure out the continued operation of the Pryor Creek Golf Course Pro Shop. It was not A&B Golf
well,
Shop
it wasn't,
anymore.
there wasn't anything behind that, I promise you. That's probably just the way we
Well,
wrote the
it was
agenda.
I want to hear
very-
straight from you.
Well, I'm sorry, but I promise you, that wasn't any intention behind that.
The
So,
wording was very clearly, you left out A&B Golf Shop, as if
Well-
now we're just supposed to figure out a transition to the
It's,
Pryor.
it's again, that communication stuff, and that's why I'm trying
Well,
to be real
but
careful
listen,
with what we're expecting.
I get it, and I get it, and all I have is my word. My word to Donna is, that wasn't the intent in the agenda item,
Okay.
to leave you, I'm sorry you feel like, I really am, I didn't, it's just the way we worded it. But also to you guys, that we're gonna handle the things that we have the stewardship to handle, and we'll bring you in when we have to, and when we can, and when it's there. And just like here, the things that I say may not sit well with all of you, but I'm not sharing anything that isn't true. I'm not gonna waver because somebody feels I'm saying something wrong. And you know, if that's what sets me aside from other leaders in the community, then that's on me. But I'm gonna tell you exactly why we did what we've done, and I'm not gonna waver. And all I have on that is my truth, my word.
You know, there still could be sticky things come out. I mean, you're gonna be negotiating, and I would just encourage you to pick up the phone.
Oh, we pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
We pick up the phone.
Okay.
But we have had that communication. And again, early last week, said this now 3 times, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, wasn't in the office, so to say. Friday was a holiday, and I was up here working on opportunity grant funding to get us more opportunities from Department of Commerce. That was my one priority. But at the end of the day, we want to figure out something amicable between this. We want to figure out if they're ready to move on to another stage in life, so be it. We want that. We want them to be happy. We want them to be successful. And at the end of the day, the legacy that they have for 25 years, and I said it to them, I want them to have that legacy for as long as that golf course is there. And there's nothing behind that. That is strictly, you know, look at Jimmy Trammell's here, what, 12, 16 years. He's got things that Jimmy Trammell is known for doing, and those are his things that he did. Respectfully, I don't want them to feel like, and I'm speaking to you, I don't want you, or you, to feel like we're parting on a bad note. But there is an uncomfortable side to the whole stinking situation. And by golly, we're gonna get through it. We will get through it. But again, Dennis, I'm sorry, you're what? Dennis turns a very notable age this year.
65.
This year?
I just turned 64, so.
Well, happy
I'm
birthday.
right in your
You're
boat.
65.
But the
Will
point
be.
is,
Will be.
will be.
Don't make it that long.
But the point is that,
Well, you only look 40. How's that?
again, hear me out, and then I'll be done, and we can move on to some other things if you guys are ready. At the end of the day, I have a fire chief that is within 2 years of retirement. He's reached his time. I have a street department supervisor who has just told me he's extending to 67 because he has things that he's got to do. I've got other department heads that are at that same age. And if that's something I got to do, we, for the best of the city, have to be prepared for that. Whether it involves the Bowmans or not. But we want to make sure, and I told you guys this, and I meant it. I don't say things to say them. We want them to go out the right way, if that's the choice that they choose to make. But on the same token, we have to be able to prepare for what comes next. If it doesn't make it past 90 days, then it doesn't. And as bad as that is gonna be for the city, we got a lot that we gotta figure out quick. So do I wait? No, I have to have all of this. And that's just the way I've always managed things, is I need to know who's coming next. I need to know who's after this person. Who's gonna be the successor if Hannah leaves tomorrow? What operations are gonna be taking place? That's sensible business management. And so with that, I was very clear that that was the main direction with what I want to know is what is it we've got to look at? But I need them to be able to do their homework with the time that it takes them to do that homework without me up in their grill going, because that's not fair.
I mean, I feel like this could be resolved in one meeting.
Maybe it could, that would be swell.
I don't think it takes 90 days. I mean, I feel like it can be resolved in one meeting. I need to know what the city's, what it is you're wanting to change in the contract.
And those are the things that we just need to sit down and do. But at the same,
One meeting should be able, I mean, do you not agree that one meeting should be able to fix it?
I would hope that one meeting would be able to
So we
fix
could be
it.
done before the 30th.
We very well could be, but we need to be able to do those
But if
things.
you need another one, and you're willing to extend another 90 if it gets hairy, and.
But
I mean,
understand that.
It's
in
kind
my-
of nice to
they
have
want
that
your
extra time in the
support.
kitty,
Hang on.
just in case.
But also in my side of this,
I'm just more, I don't want to beat around the bush.
I know,
They know
you're,
what they want.
you kind of remind me of me. You want to get things done.
Okay.
Yes, I mean,
Get done,
I do
and
not
let's
like
cut to the
security.
chase.
I don't
and-
like having
Right.
employees who don't know if they're gonna have a job in a
Right.
week.
You
I'm
just
gonna say
want-
now, your employees will always have a job, with or without you, they will have a job. Not even, like, that's not, but here's the thing, Chase, in our partnership here, Chase has things that he's gotta dig into. Chase has other things that I wish we could say it's gonna be resolved by the time we're out of this meeting. But it won't be today. It may not be by Friday. But I'm targeting as fast as we can. I'm targeting that as fast as I can, but decisions don't always come in the drop of a hat. And you know, Lori Bradshaw pulled me aside after this, and I'm grateful for those people that do these things and said, Mayor, maybe we need to just slow the roll, take a breath, let level heads prevail. I say that 1,000 times a day, and here somebody is giving all of us that same advice. And I would only be a fool not to take my own advice and say, let's slow the roll. Let's make sure that everything we promised them we would do, everything that Chase promised me he would do, and everything that they promised their attorney they would do, those are things that we need to allow to happen. But in the same token, I'm not looking to drag this out to the very last minute. I don't work that way either. If you haven't noticed, I don't work that way either. I want to get it in and get it done. And sometimes that's taken as being very aggressive, sometimes you have to be. But there are things that I promised them I would do. And in that promise, I'm going to do that, even if it takes a little bit longer than what anybody up here or anyone else thinks. But I think the most responsible thing that this board, the city council, or anybody else can do is make sure that the truth is what's shared. And, you know, we have other situations in the city with other deals where I say nobody has walked through my door and let their shadow come into my office to talk about it. Right? And in this situation, there are members of this board that have not come to talk to me. Right? To find out that I'm not anti-Bowman at all. I have nothing against these guys. But there are business sides of this that we have to address respectfully for the city to operate the way that the city should be, not how we have been. And how we have been isn't always the right way. We will do the best we can to operate the right way. And again, I'm going to say it one more time, loud and clear. Noted, communication could have been better. Noted, communication is a two-way street. Noted, all of that. But all we have control on for today is what we're going to do going forward. And my promise is to do what's right. And my promise is to come to the best solution in this, and I was very clear, what's best for the city, what's best for the golf course, what's best for the city, what's best for my employee, what's best for the golf course, and what's best for the contractor, right? It's a matter of how it has to be. And I'm gonna do that,
You know,
respectfully.
I mean, I think that was probably good, just what you said a minute ago, trying to, let's just get the truth out, get it done, get it over with, and hear ourselves exactly what happened. And I've heard it 2 or 3 times. Facebook is, the first person who puts it on Facebook, it's like it's written in the Bible. And that's all they're ever going to see. I And I told them, I actually called the mayor because it aggravated me. I was in a store, had 5 different people. One asked me about what happened, what are we gonna do about it? And next thing you know, there's 3 more around me asking me the questions about what's going on. And I'm like, what's going on? And then, there's so many people who take a part of a story, blows it up,
Writes their own.
it writes their own, changes the story, and it gets put out there. And the bad part about it is Dennis and Donna were being, they were truly being dragged through the mud. And I can see, I felt that way. I'm glad that the mayor said it. I'm glad Dennis has said it. And Donna, I've talked to Dennis and Donna several times. I don't think it's anybody's intention to yank the contract and go, you're out 90 days, figure out what you're gonna do. I don't think that's the city's intention at all. I don't know if that's true. I'm not privy to that. But at the end of the day, I think we'll come to some type of conclusion that, Dennis is gonna say, I'm gonna go a year or so, or 2, whatever that number is, and Donna says, you got this many months, figure it out. And if that's what happens, I guess that's what happens. And,
Yes.
I think it's fair, both sides.
So they were talking a while ago, and then we kind of interrupted. Have you told us everything truth-wise that I'm asking to hear?
Yeah, regarding that situation, I feel like that was the thing that started it all.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's a couple of days after that. Big headline in the paper. You look up a Pryor Creek Golf Course right now, the first thing you're gonna see is hydration, or dispute over hydration denied. It's false.
Yeah, it is.
It just snowballed and everybody jumped. And the next thing you know, now they're on the pro shop and everything else. You guys need to, triple dipping and y'all make too much money. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I think everybody knows, we worked 25 years up there and we work hard. It's 7 days a week. It's daylight to dark a lot of times. It's after. If we take a vacation, we're still working. I'm still dealing with staff issues, with payroll, with taxes, with schedules and
It's a business.
invoices. It's a business. It never, even on vacation, we do that. But yet, then to have people basically claim that you're just making a killing off the city, you're a drain on the city, and then whenever your administration doesn't back you, that's where I live. It's really hard for me to. And then you guys, you're the first ones that have asked. I haven't had a single city council person that has said anything in our favor or asked. Like I said, I'm different from him, but as his spouse, they have not had his back. They have been a big part of the instigation as far as what has happened with him. And there are people in this room that I know, they know that there are certain members on that city council, all we're doing is swimming upstream. It's a constant battle. They're not for us out there.
I think that whole.
I don't know why.
So let me throw a little something. Let's be clear about things, right? So 2018, when the city asked for your tax returns?
Yeah.
They provided them and they were good. They were good. I was on the council at that time. We asked for them. It was a big ordeal, and they produced them. I think there was maybe like 1 year you had a couple documents you couldn't find, but we took everything to Colker and it was good, right? So when did Chase ask you for the books? Was that right about that April-ish?
It was whenever, was it right when the non-renewal?
Somewhere in there?
It was the.
Somewhere around the
almost-
1st of May.
I wanna say it was Friday before the vote, before the special meeting.
Okay, so
So Friday, they asked for the financials, Tuesday night, they voted to not renew.
those financials went straight from Chase, from them. I think you gave them to Chase.
I took them directly to Colbert.
Okay, so Chase requested them. They went to Colker. Colker's been on vacation for, I don't know, what, a month and a half, I don't know. But point is, Colker has those, and he is reviewing those. I appreciate that without hesitation, those were turned over. There was no hesitation.
We're an open book.
That's what we've been asked, like, let's see, let's look. as uncomfortable as that gets, that's all part of that. Let's figure out and let's put it to rest. There's no problems. If there's a problem, we'll find it. But if there's no problems, we can put that to rest and be done. And that's my goal. It's my goal with the golf carts. It was my goal with all those other things that we've been doing. And I'm sorry that people take offense to what doesn't feel comfortable. But from the get-go, my position has been, if that gray cloud that's hanging over for whatever reason doesn't belong there, then let's get rid of it as a community. Let's get rid of it as boards and leadership. I have no control over what any of you have in your head right now, nor do I want to. That's the wonder of what we live in, is that all those who are qualified and willing to serve get to serve, right? Different opinions, we're nonpartisan in this room, but the point is, if that doesn't belong there, then we have the responsibility to help get rid of it. And if reviewing books and reviewing contracts and looking at employments and things like that has to take place, then I will do that. And
Donna, I'll say, for you and Dennis both, I've heard those same things you've heard about Donna makes too much money or Dennis makes too much money. I don't know how they know what you make. Those are your books unless you show them. But, so they're making judgments, passing judgment. But I will tell you something that nobody's thinking about is we've got the financials within the city books over the last 4 or 5. We've got them over the last 20. And we're going to have them over the next 2 or 3. And I know where I'm putting my money. If things fall apart here and we blow this thing up, I think the books will tell the story. And then somebody needs to say, what was our basis for doing this? And if we're going to run this city based on what's out there on Facebook, that is a grave mistake. Facebook is not a source of the truth.
That's for sure.
And if you're running an organization, I'm still not on Facebook, but I ran an organization. I had 200 people. And I'll tell you what, I didn't get on Facebook because it was, you never knew what somebody's going to say. And this could have easily been solved going forward is let's get to the truth before we take any action. And we didn't do that, I don't feel like. I think we took action before we knew the truth. Because to sit here and listen to Dennis say, I didn't deny that guy water, but you know, you hear from people, oh, well, who would do that? That's just, I'm going to say this. I was not going to. I had a councilman call me at 10 o'clock in the morning, roughly, the day this happened. And my response to him was, hey, do you know this to be true? Well, we're just going to go, you know, we don't have any information. And if you'll notice, when we went to the park board and we had our executive session, that first one, and we didn't come out with any results, we said, no, we didn't have any, we knew we didn't have any information. We weren't going to pass judgment on something. And yet, we had to take the keyboard warriors shooting us in the back about this because, we didn't do anything. But the reason is because we didn't know. We didn't know what happened. But we knew enough to know that, you know what, people out on Facebook sometimes, they want to be the thought leader. They want to be the person out there that's going to, cure the world's problems. Facebook is not the place to go to run the city.
100%.
And I recognize you're in a unique situation than the rest of us in here. And I'm going to say this too, but I hope you take it as me not having my head in the sand. When you run for office, I know you got to pay attention. You don't know who's a voter and who isn't. But I think you do have to, in the role that you're in, you've got to stand up for the truth and demand that the truth be put forward. And when it's not, you need to call it out.
And I have more than tried to do that in this scenario.
Well, we appreciate that.
I will.
And I think tonight will go a long ways towards helping that. But we need a leader for this city, because the city within the past couple of years has had a situation where an employee got dismissed. And I don't know what the final end result was financially, but as I understand it, there was a financial settlement, and that's not in the best interest of the city. That we get into those
And
situations.
let me speak to your board's behalf, and Keith and I shared this. There were comments about, well, that park board didn't do nothing. Correct, to which I responded, they're an advisory committee. I didn't feel at any point that any burden that could have put it in a litigious situation should fall on an advisory committee of volunteers. Meaning, you guys should not have been in any situation, had that gone any other direction, that you should have been in a situation where you felt that you were going to be sued. That's not a burden that should fall on you. You're an advisory committee, and was I not very clear about that? And that's why I brought Keith into our executive session to share what you guys discussed. And when that was done, we had a little conversation, and Keith left the room so we could have our discussion.
And I think that's what we forget, is we feel like, and I feel like, my opinion, I feel like we're a jury. And no matter what we say, when it gets to the judge, if the judge doesn't agree with us, he can change it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
basically what it is. We're the jury, but the council people are the judge. And no matter what we say, they don't like it, it changes. And I think that's what's hard on all of us, because we talk about it, we have our own opinions, but in the big scheme of things, it doesn't come down to us.
We give them our
Like
best
it.
information,
Whether we like it or
the
not.
facts as we know them, and say, here it is, do with it what you want to do with it. But
It's not up to us.
everything that we put in here says it has to go to council for approval.
I know.
Any decision. So we're not making those decisions, and we never have. Never happened since I've been here. What we do is we make our recommendations, and in the past, those recommendations have held some weight because people said, these are golfers, these are golfers, these are golfers. And they go, you know what? These people probably know what's going on out there and have better insight. But,
I
no,
want to say one thing. I certainly appreciate the Bowman's composure and patience through some very difficult lack of information, not knowing where the heck you're at times, okay?
Amen.
Amen.
Did I
Definitely.
appreciate that greatly. Did I answer all your questions about the situation? You have any questions about the situation?
No, it was an open-ended question,
Yep.
because I knew what I'd heard, and I just wanted to hear it from you all.
And
Because
just,
I wanted to know the story
From the horse's mouth?
I don't want to say that.
From the source. So
From two people I respect out there at the golf course that do a great job.
appreciate that. And one of the things that we do, our books are always open. You wanna know, come out there and see how a green fee's rung up and a cart's rung up, it's always there. Everything is done by the book, through our CPA, every tax is paid, every permit. So her CPA, well, then it goes to my CPA. But it's all done.
I've been very vocal
Yeah.
about that too.
That
Listen,
will-
I told them,
that's
I
all.
respect the marital team that they are.
I wouldn't do
They
it.
are them.
The pro
I'd be
shop works
divorced.
in conjunction.
And
with
whether
the-
it were Hannah and I out
the
there,
golf
or the
course,
two of
director
you,
of golf.
25 years of working together is gonna be a great team. But we've discussed where part of that cloud comes from the we. That's where those comments are. And so if we have to remind, hey, her CPA, you're an employee, your CPA is
Well,
Coker.
I'm referring to.
But you know what I'm saying?
Our total taxes, our
Correct.
marital taxes.
Yeah,
Right.
Everything's
is
done.
through them.
At the end of the day,
100%.
yes.
At the end of the day, everything's paid to the best of our knowledge. I mean, I don't know, if we can do it better, if we ever catch a mistake, it gets corrected.
Nothing that we've asked for has
Every-
ever been delayed.
Right, every
So,
book, or every day, the records are brought to her staff, they handle them, however many green fees, carts, the whole 9 yards.
All
is there.
documented.
It's all been, I've never kept anything from anybody, I don't think she's
Well-
ever kept anything from anybody. We don't have a
100%,
reason to.
I 100% believe you too. I mean, I've been around you since sitting in the chair, because I thought, in fact, I talked to Chris, and that was some of the questions I had was like, different, what should the chair do and this, and so I spent I've been out to your place lots of times, not even to just to golf, but just to go look at the pumps and understand that tank, because that damn thing's huge. But if you don't know what you're responsible for, you really don't have much of you can't accurately give information if you don't
Well,
know.
or to vote or anything, and that's where I think that this was my understanding is, everybody on the park board, they golf, they know you
Oh, yeah, they're-
personally, so they're gonna always be
I've,
for you.
I've heard that, what is one I heard just the other day? Oh, well, he gives you free golf. I've not once ever in my life got free golf from Dennis. He's never comped me, he's never given me a discount, never.
Never even.
Never. He actually caught one of the guys wasn't ringing it up right, and he stopped him and made him fix it. So that just tells you, if he's willing to, he could have turned a blind eye and said no, but he didn't.
Your integrity is not in question.
He
Yeah.
takes it
But
very
also
serious being
on
a
their
steward.
integrity.
I'm glad he does.
You got three of these gentlemen that play a lot of golf out there, and not once have they ever come to me asking for anything. And nothing special. They've never come to me, and I think
Absolutely not.
that's the correct way to do it. They say,
Well-
"Dennis, can you cut me a deal here?" No, never has happened.
Well, and integrity is a big thing with me, just like, there's a lot that we could have done better to make, for all this, and, I guess armchair quarterback, and whenever you're being thrown spears at you and getting 100 phone, I bet you my phone rang for 2 weeks and you were on vacation, and had people showing up in my office, but it's because there's so much negative out there, and I don't think that, no matter if Dennis and Donna did a personal article in the paper, they still wouldn't listen. Oh, they're just, I don't know why there's a gray cloud, but it's people who don't golf, and that's the biggest issue.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what,
And unfortunately, they're the mouthpiece that's going and saying, well, they do this, they do that, and they have zero clue. It's what's been said or wrote, and that's how they take it. Just like this video, they're gonna look at it and go, well, that was a big waste of nothing. Well, it may have been, but I'm gonna tell you this right now, I feel better that at least there is common ground. We know that we're gonna go 90 days more and possibly longer, depending on what happens. If everybody can congressionally agree, I'm sure that there's no reason to, break what's not broken, so.
exactly.
The only thing on that, I will, because I want to keep the air clear on everything, with all this that has came up, I had a person contact me already about another golf course. Right, so that is on my table to look at right now.
And Dennis, this is a good time for me to say this, and I've told you this.
Yeah.
You can validate this. You are an extremely savvy and good businessman.
I appreciate that. Really, to come from you, it means a lot.
Yeah, most people up here don't know that you and I, over the course of you being here, we've had a lot of conversations.
It's been great, though. I loved every one of them. We
I
had
think
not
we had a
always seen
certain
eye to eye.
respect. But I also want to say for these people out there, because I think they talk about the money. You're making money out there. I would like for these people, hopefully tonight, to watch this, to know that when you came on, we took the carts away from the golf pro. The golf pro used to own the carts and got all the revenues. What do you think what do you think our what would you guess our golf revenues are now? I mean, our golf carts. Would you have an idea?
$250,000.
$250,000, and that used to go to the golf pro, and people think we're paying you too much. And we took that away and put a couple of incentives in, and we turned that pro shop from a concession stand into a pro shop. And there's a lot of this stuff, and so for once and for all, I hope these people that are out there making these insinuations that have no basis understand we're not a bunch of,
This
It-
guy,
it-
too, he's a Class A PGA professional.
Yeah.
Number one. He is also a Class A golf course superintendent. And I hear the people on the council call him superintendent. you're the superintendent. No, he's the director of golf out there. And he's one of 150 in this nation that has a double certification like that.
Plus you can.
And all he doesn't have to explain it to anybody that really cares. Just go look at the books. This course has never been in this good a condition financially. And I hate it that you're the one having to take this as hard as you've worked and what you guys have done out there, and then have to listen to all this by people who aren't informed. They're not educated. They don't understand how golf courses work. But they would blow this thing up and leave us in a situation where we may have a hard time operating the course.
And that's where I don't know, and I've questioned, I don't want to try to get involved in stuff that, I just, like I said, run the pro shop, take care of it. But I've got people on the city council that he has invited out numerous times, come out to the golf course, see what we got going. Come out here, I'll show you everything. You have people in there who never set foot out there. But they're voting regarding, our livelihood. Our livelihood is in their hands.
You know, people,
But they are not educated, and they don't appear to want to be.
I will say the mayor probably has got more education on the golf course in the last 6 months than you thought you ever would.
Try to stay pretty informed.
Well, but, you know, with everything going on, it seems like it's just a constant. I know your phone rings 1,000 times and somebody's gonna listen to this tonight and you'll be 100 phone calls tomorrow about it. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that you're transparent about how you want to do business and how you do stuff. It wasn't the best outcome maybe to start the contract negotiation, but it is what it is at this point. And all we can do is just go forward. And I hope that Donna understands that, I don't feel like, and I don't know about the rest, but I don't think anybody has anything bad against you all, we don't get favors from you or anything else. We have vested interest because we know a lot of what goes on. Chris knows the financials probably better than anybody out there due to the fact that, they was part of the contract talk when they first started it. At the end of the day, I don't know how, I hope it works out because I think it's a good deal and there's a transitional point to where, hey, I don't know what your plans are, but hey, we'd like to be out here at this date. I want to retire, and Donna says she wants out of business, and Mayor goes, perfect. And hopefully there's a
And that's a
succession
positive-
plan.
Positive
Yeah.
experience. as
Yes,
opposed to
legacy.
all this
Succession plan.
nonsense.
Legacy.
That's,
The word.
Ideally, those people out there that golf, those are our people.
Yeah,
Everybody thinks, well, we're gonna get rid of the Bowmans, we're gonna get them out, but then stop and think about the people who enjoy coming to the golf course, and that we've got people, seniors, that if that wasn't there, I don't know what they do. That's
Yeah.
their activity, that's their livelihood, to get out and come out to the golf course and socialize and have some activity. And we don't want to be a part of anything that's going to take that away from them.
I don't think it'll happen. I think there'll be some plans to make sure, at least I hope so. And, to your opinion about the city council, I've asked many of them, come sit in our meetings.
Yeah.
Come just sit in our meetings. Oh, I will. But then they'll say, well, watch it on film. Well, you don't get the same experience because I'm sure there's questions they'd like to ask.
Back to Chris was talking about the success of the golf course. I think it's all to do with the way it was set up.
Yeah.
If the golf course was successful, then the pro shop had a chance to be successful.
That's true.
When you set things up in that manner, then the golfers benefit because you have a
That's
successful
right.
golf course. And then
It
there's
just returned,
opportunity
it
has
just returned
a chance.
itself. It's as
It's
after,
not, it's not always, she hadn't always had positive numbers every year.
No.
So,
And
there's
there's
been
always
lean
the
years where we had
winters.
negative numbers.
yeah, winter gets pretty slim.
People don't understand that when, oh, yeah, you made money this year. What about 3 years ago? We lost money, People don't understand
Part
some
of it,
those
it's
situations.
just part of doing business. And you
Exactly.
gotta
Not
plan
every
for it.
year is a great year.
Well,
People complain that, well, you don't own the golf carts, you shouldn't get anything. It's my staff And my people that take care of the city's property out there, they move them, they stage them, they
Wash
clean them, they change, keep gas in them, it's every day. And we've got to the point, we've got over 200 people some days. Those cars, we got 60. So they're being stringed around, and so I know maybe people just are uninformed and they don't understand how the contract is set up. I don't get all of the golf cart proceeds.
So when all of the, and I'll say this, just to wrap it all up, because we do have to get moving
Yeah.
with our items, and it's your meeting respectfully, but I think when all of this is done, and I was very clear with Donna about this, specifically about hers, Dennis and I have talked, and I'm gonna say it to you guys. When all is said and done, there won't be any gray areas. We will know and be transparent with what's out there. And I think that's, you look at, and I'm not gonna go too far into the woods on this, but I'm gonna kind of go there. You look at things like the data centers right now and all these non-disclosures. It's not the data center that scares people, it's the unknown. And I think what gets people riled up is when they don't know. And there's a lot of people that don't know those contracts. Listen, I'll tell you, Jimmy will tell you, they're a little bit all over the place. They're there, they can all be read, they can all be verified, they're there. But when it's done, we're gonna make sure that it's clear, not just for them, but for the city. And I mean it, we're gonna get rid of this gray cloud if it kills me. We've already proven, right off the bat, that they can be self-sustaining without having to take all these funds from the general course. The general fund. I know you guys have heard that. Oh, they're only surviving because of the general fund.
No.
What have you gotten since I've taken office?
Nothing.
And
I give 'em a high
sent the
five.
financials again to you.
But again,
I sent them to you again.
we've established that there's not any kind of collusion with Yamaha. We've established they're not dependent on the general fund. We've established that we can maintain good things out there without all of this stuff that was there. The rumors, we're trying to put them to rest. We're trying to work on these things. We're gonna do what we have to do to get through this. One way or another, we're gonna get through it. But as leadership, we gotta hold it together, and like Lori Bradshaw reminds us so wonderfully, take a breath and step back and let the level heads prevail. But in that, being supportive of one another, being supportive of what they are doing, and those things that they're doing right, being supportive of the council and the things that they're doing right. And yeah, even being careful about the things that we read on Facebook, and being able to discern what's left field and what's right field. We have to be able to do that. And we can read it, but we don't necessarily always have to respond. We can de-escalate things, we can work on things, we can take that step back. And I think that's what's gonna, in the end of the day, prove who the good leaders of this community are. And so, my promise to them is, I'm gonna clear this cloud if it kills me, because it's not fair to be there if it doesn't deserve to be there, and I don't necessarily feel it deserves to be there.
Well,
So,
you're exactly right, and I think some of the counselors that you have to deal with, that's truly what, as a mayor, that you've gotta
listen,
try to figure out, and I don't envy you by,
I'm gonna say this, every person.
I really don't, because.
It's okay, not a lot of people do, but listen, I'm gonna tell you, whether it's Terry, Bruce, Chris, Autumn, it doesn't matter. I said it before and I meant it. We live in a great country with a great set of laws and a great system that says if you are qualified and willing, you're an example, sir. If you are qualified and willing, I will call you to do the job. I don't care what your background is. Not necessarily does that always need to be a factor. We have a system that says, I need to know how the Roys of the world feel. And those people have I don't mean it like that. The Roys of the world have just as much of an opinion as Pam. I don't have to agree with it, but our system says that it's allowed to be shared, and it's allowed to be a part of the collective. So as leaders, we gotta weed in and weed out the noise. If it's noise, weed it out and let it go. We need to put our time and attention to the things that are really, truly important. We're working on it with this one. We are working to get through it.
And if we don't know, ask.
Yes.
Well, that's one thing I did want to say. Given the circumstances on how all this transpired, now granted, timing was really bad. It was just bad timing. Let's face it, folks. It is what it is, okay? But at the end of the day, obviously the city believes we are a very useful, reliable source of information and thought process to what goes on and happens in this city, okay? Or we wouldn't be here, okay? Disagree with me if you know, or agree with me, however you want. But I think how this went down, okay, you can look at it from 25 different angles, okay? We're all gonna have a different opinion, but at the end of the day, the one opinion is everybody felt left out, okay? People don't like to be left out. Personally, I don't care one way or the other. I go to sleep at night just fine, wake up the same way. But, but maybe out of your office, when, I'm not saying within your legal purview, okay? Would it be out of the question to ask that this board just be given maybe a heads up saying, hey, this might come your way? And I'm not saying
In
that you
all
have to.
fairness, in all fairness, did I not give the opportunity for you guys to have a
Oh,
meeting?
no, I get it,
So
I get
We
it.
just, and we
But
couldn't
I
even get a
mean-
quorum, so that's some of that.
But I get, what I'm talking about, I'm talking future, in the future here, is when something like that's gonna happen abruptly, sharing information with one another, it actually not only safeguards you, safeguards us, because people know what we do. I mean, your neighbor knows what you do, your neighbor knows what you're involved in, your family knows what you're involved in, and each one of them tells 10 people, they tell 10 people. They know who to talk to, okay? They know the first line. We are the first line because they're not gonna see him every day. They're gonna see you, and you.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think it was a perfect storm.
Oh, absolutely, there's no doubt. But all I'm asking, as a courtesy, just as a
I
courtesy.
think it will happen.
Given that, I mean, we saw what transpired with this one, sure, it was a brouhaha. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I can tell you that a couple of the counselors have said that, that would be part of their creed back to, is what they told me. They would
And
like.
I hope they follow that.
They
I know
want to
people-
make sure that, they are hearing what we're saying and they, her, because I think you'll be able to figure out, said, I respect I respect what the work y'all do there because sometimes we don't have,
We've got our ear to a wall that they don't have theirs.
Exactly right, and I think this has probably, opened a lot of eyes up of not really paying attention and probably should have hey, listen to this.
Now, I fully
fairness.
understand his position. Now, he already knows, I've already gone in his office and sat down and talked with him. And on this very topic, if you recall, I asked, out of curious, what happened? Why didn't we get a heads up?
So you're basically saying we don't want to be blindsided.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody likes to be blindsided because we're gonna be asked questions here that might not be asked of them yet.
Well, we didn't.
So basically, we're gonna field it, and then we're gonna give it to them and say, hey, you gotta be prepared for this, it's coming your way. But that goes both ways.
I truly believe it will now, just from what's someone said, and I think the mayor is
Oh,
going to
yeah,
force them.
I mean,
So maybe put a little formality around that. To me, we come to a point, and whatever the decision is made, that you and me and the rest of us can say, this was in the best interest of the city of Pryor, and it's in the best interest of the golf course. That's what we're trying to set the goal. It's got to meet both.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, I think that's going to be a real disservice to the community, and we don't want that to happen. So hopefully, when this is all done, we can stack hands and say we did what was in the best interest of the city and the golf course.
That's the direction we're going.
Oh, yeah, and going forward on this particular issue, we should be dealing with the council, with the mayor, and with the Bowmans, not with social media. Forget that even exists. Turn that off.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor, for being here.
Oh, you're not
Well,
done with me yet.
Rest will be quick. So, there are 3 action items that I have that I need to do something on. So on B and C of number 3,
Okay, there you go.
discuss possible recommend council action regarding pro shop operations. I think we've talked that in enough, we know what's going on. Discuss possible recommend council action regarding update on the golf course logo. So the golf course logo that we want to try to go to is the new logo that the
You got
city
it.
has. You got the shirt on?
We're not we would like to not change the name. We would not like to change anything, but as we've rebranded the city. Well, David did that one on his own.
If you wanna have it made, you're more than welcome.
But,
But that is the logo.
so it would be the same thing it is now. Pryor
Everything
Creek
is,
Golf
only
Course.
thing will be that, just that.
Okay, and what is that?
That
It's the city logo.
That's the new, so this is the seal. The council approved this, what? My gosh. Last year?
Yeah,
This year?
it was last year.
Yeah, last year.
So if you notice, we've got the new entrance signs, we've removed the City of Pryor Hall off the front of the building, and now it says Pryor Creek. It's a rebrand. We've gone with cooperation with the school and their style sheet. Northeast Tech helped put some of this together. There were numerous people involved, and we've come up with, this has been council approved, set by ordinance, that's the new brand of the city. Brand is gonna be what, McDonald's without the arches, it's not McDonald's, it's just raunchy food. Sorry, but that's how I feel about that one.
So what's on the golf shirts now? I can't remember.
Is it a, like a,
Is it, so there's a patch or
a little
something?
Is it
scenery?
a patch?
Yeah.
It's just a, but
It's
this,
just,
Similar to that little creek, like the creek runs through, it's got a golf course flag on it.
yeah.
Okay.
And all it is, if you'll notice throughout the city, there's more than just that. We put out the signage on the trails, and that signage has Tracy Rabbit's art on it. Today, I got an email that they're going to put the signage out on Giles Park. Guess what's on the back of it? Tracy Rabbit's art. It also has the rules, the name and the hours and everything that's there by hole 1, but it's Giles Park. When we get the streetscape done, you'll see that same walkability feature to downtown and hopefully out at the district, kind of branding the city, unifying, creating it to all be the same. So it's not well, that's the south end and this, no, it's Pryor. This is what we are. These are ours. And so, that's why our signs say Pryor, welcome home. So, as we go forward, we're gonna try to implement that brand in everything that is the city's.
I get a lot of compliments on it.
Yeah. It's been
So-
very positively received.
so discuss possible recommend to council action regarding, an update to the golf course logo.
You need a motion?
Okay.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Who was the second?
Me.
I'm sorry, I took the liberty to ask him if he had anything to say on that.
Oh,
Oh,
are you good with that, Dennis?
I've seen it, but I don't have it.
I'll come up with an image of kind of, it's very simple change.
So basically, it's just the new city.
It's really just
Pryor
that
with the
circle.
logo. Everybody's gonna have it, right?
That circle with the specific font
Yeah.
that'll be on everything, so.
Which would be good, because it is blue and gold, so. A first and a second?
Second.
Any more discussion before we take? All right, roll call, please, Hannah.
Shawless,
Yes.
Reeser,
Yes.
Buffington,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes,
Shelby,
Yes.
Thank you.
Action number, we'll go back to B, discuss possible recommend council action regarding pro shop operations. We've already talked that into the ground.
Yeah.
It's already happened, so we can take no action on it. Do I need to vote on that, or is it just because it's no action? And then the next one was discuss possible recommend to council action regarding modification to the golf course rules. That was mainly about, we talked about, so you made the operational for the water for the junior,
Anything
Just
that has to do with students, kids, or OSSA day.
And then as far as modification to the pricing on the golf carts, we're not, is that still a talk, or we?
I have nothing on the table for that, unless it is related to those high school tournaments. And then we need to just figure out what is competitive across the state. And that's where we need to just make sure that we're lined up there competitively. So we'll probably have Dennis get us a couple other golf courses that are publicly owned. That's the trick, the public owned, and see what that price is. And I think wherever that is, we find the average, and that's where we put it.
What was that, Keith?
So there was two rules that they made. One was about adding to where if it's a junior or a high school, basically like track meet, but they did the golf course, that they can bring their own water on, stuff like that. And then the other one was to set a different golf cart fee.
Oh, okay.
So if the parents want to use it, they're not, trying to help them out a little bit, basically.
For schools.
For school,
Okay.
just schools.
School
I
tournaments
just,
and
I
things. Or for
didn't
the
hear what you
school
said.
practicing and everything as well?
No, just tournaments, just tournaments.
Okay.
That was it. Correct?
Correct.
I think it's-
Again, addressing those complaints that we've had across, not just here, but whether it was Ada's tournament or whether it was Shangri-La, wherever it is, we want to make sure that we aren't in a situation where there's reason for somebody to say that we're doing something that is not competitive or something that could be self-serving. We want to make sure that we're right out there with everything and that we are competitive. We're not looking to give away the golf course, that's not the point, but we need to be competitive, and that's business. That's business.
So I don't think there's anything we need to do on it
No,
because
we've
it
got a
was
little
already
research
taken care
to
of
do.
it.
We'll dig
So
it.
there's some work.
More just notifying that that's coming.
So we'll take no action on A, on number 3. All right, back to park reports. Director Frank Powell, which is not here, so we're gonna talk about the parks, updating regarding the holiday lights, which me and the mayor talk about. Update regarding Bobby Buck, you'll do that, and then the cemetery, and then updating regarding cemetery staff needs. You'll talk about that.
Yeah, let me just go through all of the stuff that Frank would do. He's on vacation this week. Cemeteries worked their tail off with help of the park guys to get ready for Memorial Day, get past that. We're a few weeks past, but there's been cleanup, and if none of you have a yard that needs to be mowed tonight, the grass is growing crazy, right? So they've been on that full bore. Gary has been going. He's more facilities, but he's also been helping the parks guys. They've been helping Gary, the cemetery. They're all working together, so that's a positive.
Did we get a guy? Did the council approve?
Frank's looking for one, so
Awesome.
that's out there.
Applications are coming in.
Yes,
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
so that's out there. So they've been working really hard to get things done. This is also tree trimming time. This is also, we're about ready for the first round of maintenance on the mowers after the spring cuts. We're gonna probably get them on maintenance. We're addressing some issues with the ball fields, the older ball fields. Talking about possibly entering into, especially with the church league field, entering into an MOU with them. So what typically happens is we agree to mow. The guy that was mowing for us had a health issue and he's gonna be out for a while. Pretty severe health issue, we'll leave it at that, where he had to be taken off of the mower and hospitalized. He didn't lose any fingers, it's just another issue, but anyways, so he's out. But what happens is, we get out there and we mow, and all of the mowers that they mow those fields with are front deck mowers. And the guys that run those fields would love them to be shorter than we can mow. We'd love to cut them shorter, but you go too low with those front decks and it's gonna rut those fields up bad. So we cut them as short as we can. They come back usually every year and they say, well, we want it cut shorter. Well, that's the shortest we can go. Well, then we'll cut it, don't worry about it. So they start cutting it, and then about halfway through the year, their leadership in whatever league they've got out there changes, and the new one comes in and goes, why are we mowing? Isn't this a city field? We can mow them, we'll do it. And poor Jim goes out there and starts mowing, and then they say, well, it's not low enough. You see what happens, it's a round robin. we'll mow them if we want, but when they say they'll do it, we'll let them do it because they want it shorter. We still do in between, around the perimeters, all those, we still take care of all of that. So we're looking at possibly entertaining an MOU with those boards going forward. Again, that's something that's never been done, but that would lock us into, we'll mow this, you mow that. They've got the mowers out there, so if they want to do that, that's fine. What that's going to look like right now, I don't know yet. We're kind of still trying to figure out who their players are versus where that lines with us. We're looking at, for the Graham Community Center, we got a grant. It was a Department of Commerce grant that allowed us to do some things. We'd like to try to apply for that grant also for the ball fields next year. It would be up to $100,000, but it has to be city-owned properties. It has to be government-owned buildings or properties. And so if we could, maybe that would allow us to come in and put down new benches, paint a building. I don't know. It's out there, but we do realize through the Placer AI data that we got last year, that ball field during softball and baseball season has roughly, I'm going to get this wrong, I know I am, but I know it was at least 62,000 people go through there a season, not a year. And so that tells us we got some work to do, but we have a lot of things that got some work to do in the city, like the Graham Community Building, streets, sidewalks, we're getting there. So we're going to let them do what they want to do for now, let them fix up what they feel they can fix up. We'll assess it at the end of the year, and we'll go from there with the new fiscal year. So if we can allocate some capital to that, then we're going to try. But right now, we just got to see where it all falls at the end of the season. So that said, Frank's guys are working their tails off. They've helped with the green space over here. We've got other things there that we've got to do in terms of getting it prepped for summer use and fall use for events that the city and the EDTA put on. They've been tremendous in helping and stepping up there too. So I think all kinds of recognition there, the green space.
Yeah.
And also, Mr. Bowman, again, steps to the plate every time we ask him to bring up a piece of machinery or level or whatever. So we are definitely appreciative of the partnership within the city and the teamwork that the city employees are showing. And so that said, hopefully that answers everything about parks and stuff. The bathroom at the tennis courts, listen, I am grateful for the contributions, but we are waiting on a garage door. And I cannot and will not frame in the inside until I have that building secure. The door is ordered and on its way, and the door installer has been on vacation. So as soon as that's done, we're hounding, get it in. As soon as that's done, the framer has already been contacted to get in and start framing it. So,
It's a nice building, by the way, if you've not drove by there and saw it.
Yeah.
It is very nice. It's going to be very.
challenge you all to go look at it.
It's big.
Do you take offense for them calling those the tennis courts as opposed to the pickleball courts?
I should.
Well, listen, we realize that the daylight is gonna be a factor soon, and we'd like to get the power back on so we can get those lights on for late summer. I mean, we were hoping to have this done by March, but between weather and, it is what it is. It is what it is, but it's not forgotten. It's over there. We've got a lot of ground leveling to do once we get it secure. Kind of was built up. We had to build foundation. So they're working on all of that. Buddy's guys are helping Frank's guys, and Buddy's guys are, so everybody's working. Nothing's getting forgotten. So any questions on any of that?
Holiday lights, me and the mayor met Friday on his day off at the park. We visited with a gentleman who's gonna provide us a quote. We've talked to different things, some ideas. The mayor actually, we walked the park, tried to give some ideas on it, and I think we're gonna be surprised what he can do. I mean, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what the quote comes back, but
So
it'll be nice.
without
Way more.
throwing it all out there for shock and awe, the whole goal is to create walkability in the winter months, right? So if we can encourage people to not just drive by, but stop and want to walk around the park in those winter months, that's the goal that we've set forth with the lighting that we've done. And so a lot of new stuff that Pryor's not done before, a lot of bold.
Lots, that's the
But
key word.
we are still operating within a budget. We gave them kind of a max out of where a max out, if you follow what that is. It was a low end of a negotiation kind of thing, but don't go above this, really, when we are planning higher. So, he didn't seem like he couldn't meet it, and in fact, he started with,
Like it's going.
he was like, well, we could do some extras, and I'm like, perfect, that's what I wanted to hear, and so.
Is this something that would be done on a yearly basis? They would take.
So-
They take care of everything.
Stuff, and we don't have
Yeah.
We don't do anything.
to
So
maintain
here's how it'll work, and Keith, correct me if I'm wrong at any point.
Okay.
The idea is that the first year will be the most expensive year, right? We're buying the product, we're paying for the installation, we're paying for the setup and the takedown and the design. The second year, now, at the end of the first season, if something happens and a wire breaks or something, they'll come and fix it. That's part of the agreement. But at the end of the year, they're gonna box it up, and they're gonna take it with them. They're gonna take it wherever they take it, in their storage, their facility. If something breaks, it's on them, not us. And when we say, day after Thanksgiving, we want it back up, they'll schedule it and they'll come put it back up. Our bill the second month will be 25% less than we paid for the initial year. Because we're not paying for design and we're not buying the product. At that point, I think what we'll look at is a phase two. What can we add to it the next year? And I think if we can do that in phases, we can build up to actually something really, really awesome. So I think what we've come up with in concept and what we talked about Friday will really be something that invites the walkers and those that kind of encourage them to get out and walk and see and add some things that are just cool. They're just cool. And where we can include any of those old pieces that are still functional, we're not wasting any more money on them, but if we've got snowflakes or we've got a snowman that works, we're gonna use it. But in the meantime, whatever else is left, we're probably gonna surplus and either give to another community or nonprofit, or we'll just,
So if we put them up the day after Thanksgiving, how long are we gonna leave them up?
till we tell them to take it down.
So we could have them up
No,
all the way through even January maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that'd be awesome.
There's some stuff that we talked about too between, about the lights in between. There's lots of, the ideas are endless of what we can do. The good thing about it is, this guy, we don't do anything. Like the mayor says, hey, I want lights on by Thanksgiving night, they'll have everything done, ready to flip.
They'll start about 2 weeks ahead of time, and they'll come out and start putting it up for us.
We don't touch anything. They take care, if bulb burns out, hey, on such and such, such is out. No problem, they'll be there to take care of it.
They have a good proven longevity track record and everything.
Yep, and we're still encouraged Keith to get a couple other quotes once we have that design in, so that we get an idea of what we're wanting.
I got a question too.
Yeah.
The lighting itself, now, am I understanding this correctly? We don't actually own those lights that'll be
No, we
there?
do.
Well, we'll own them. So if this year we have them do the work, the following year we find somebody that can do it better, maybe cheaper.
And they
but-
bring us a trailer load of our lights
of
back.
our lights back, so they are ours, okay.
They are ours.
That's what I was
But-
curious, I didn't know, because I know there's a lot of
Most of
services out there.
most of the downfall of lights at Christmas time comes in the taking down and storing. And this says, they're taking the accountability and the insurance for that to say, we took it down, we stored it, it's on us. If it's broken when we put it up, we'll fix it before we go up.
That answered my question, I was curious where,
Yeah. It's really a win-win.
Well, in
Sounds like-
this day and time too, a lot of businesses do this.
And you know,
Also, we do it because it's easier to do. Why don't, I have to pay somebody,
Right.
take them, put them up, have one of my guys that's cost me stupid money.
And one of the things that we talked about, you guys look at Freedom Fest. This will be the 4th year that Freedom Fest has been zero cost to the city. Fully paid for by sponsorships and donations, zero cost to the city. And so this is something where I'm sure we could take elements of what we have planned and say, hey, RCB, that's your background, right? Say, hey, RCB, hey, Bank of Commerce, hey, Google, hey, HIMSAW. If you'd like to help, we'll put a sign out that this element of it is yours. And we'll still install it, but let them have ownership in it, and it shows that community piece. And then whatever is donated or sponsored for that goes right onto the cost of it. So that's kind of one of the things we've talked about. So
that's affordable advertising.
that's what we're trying to do, capitalize on it. So that said,
Any questions? I think when he brings back what he's gonna do, it will be shocking off, because it is pretty slick.
so he's supposed to take a picture of the park, and he will bring us a photo of that photo with the lights put in there, how we've asked.
That'd be beautiful.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
it's-
Yes,
when,
it's-
He's gonna encompass the entire park, even back to where that other pavilion.
We got
is.
every element of this park touched.
Oh, okay, because before they used to just do that one perimeter in
Oh,
that
no,
area.
no.
So
We
now we're
got,
gonna
listen,
go beyond.
we talked about the splash pad to the old pavilion.
Oh,
to the
okay.
sprinklers in the pond, to,
So we're
I'm not gonna
including,
say, because I haven't asked them to do their favorite.
we've increased our square footage of use for lighting.
We're gonna get every bit of it. Remember, the goal is, and I already reached out to TSET, I haven't heard back from them, but to say, hey, if you guys would like to help us with this, they will typically be able to find funds easiest to help with walkability and things, because that's their whole thing, is getting people healthier. And so a lot of times, if somebody like TSET can say, hey, we'll give you $5,000 towards this, I'm not speaking for them, I'm just saying hypothetically, we want to include them in this so that it helps, and that's what we're looking for. And those are things we haven't done in the past. We're reaching outside of the box, and I think we feel pretty good about what we're going to be able to present. It'll look pretty cool.
Well, not only that, but trying to change the mentality, you know, of how things have been done. You know, when was the time they put the lights up? Well, it was whenever Frank, everybody had time to do it. Now we can schedule it and say, Thanksgiving night, such and such time, we're gonna have,
You can have
you
a light
know,
up
television
Well,
station
that's
there,
exactly what we
do
talked about, is having an actual event at the park with the lights on, just like we do downtown. Not to take away from downtown, but, man, let's get the big box that says on and have Santa Claus and hot chocolate and fire pits or whatever. But make it another tradition for Pryor that creates memories and,
Have you thought about adding music to it?
yeah, we
Yes,
talked
we
about
have.
that.
Oh, good.
We've talked about it.
You wanna come sing?
Oh, no, I mean, where you pull up, you turn your, that would run people.
You know,
off. I'm talking
Hannah-
you turn your radio
Hannah can
station
sing.
on. Yeah, not me.
All right.
That's, but,
That
but,
sounds-
I mean, just the stuff that they've got thought up was way more than, because he would start saying stuff, oh, yeah, I can do that. Oh,
'Cause
yeah, I
that
think
would
I can
draw
do that. Oh,
people.
yeah, I can do that. And it was just, okay. And just to have the feature that they're wanting to do will be a game changer.
In all honesty, we even talked about when it's all done and it's lit up the way that us three guys dreamed it to look like, having drone video done of it is gonna be just amazingly awesome.
Super cool.
So it'll be all the elements of the park should be included and incorporated, but the end goal is to create an atmosphere where people want to get out and be in the park in the off-season, in that winter time. So,
Sounds like a plan.
all right.
Any other questions? Awesome. All right, Bobby Buck. We're about done.
We on it?
Yep.
All right, so this is round one. First page will have the overall layout of, oh, I'm sorry about walking. Let me explain each page as we go through.
I'm excited to see this.
So, so page one is just the general landscape. You'll see on the right side of the page, that straight path that goes through there, that's the east side of the park. What this doesn't show is probably in the second part of the grant, we're gonna put up a privacy fence to block off those houses that are there and create it. We'll probably do like a white vinyl fence that if it's spray painted can be power washed off and it'll last a little longer.
Just note, before you get started, we had a 2-hour meeting and people show up complaining that we decided to take that fence down.
Do what?
When we took the fence down over there.
Oh, yeah, well, we're gonna put something better back.
Is that the one you're talking about on the
But
east
we're
side?
also going to put an entrance. We're gonna put a spot where people can walk through
Thank
that.
God, you answered their questions, and we won't be getting nasty
So-
phone calls now.
That's picture one. Now, this is only year one of the grant. It's a 2-year grant for $523,100.
Wow, that's how much?
$523,100,
A little over $500,000 going.
yes,
Supposed to have confetti like shoot out.
right? Okay, picture two. Picture two is just kind of the aerial view. What you see right here in this, and it'll show it in your itemized in the back, we'll get to it. This is all gonna be rubber turf. It's designed to take an 8-foot fall. So you can fall from 8 feet on that and still not technically get a concussion. The whole premise of this park is, when I ran for council, one of the things I wanted to do more than anything was create an ADA
I was just,
fully accessible playground in Pryor. And at the time, from I-35 east, there wasn't one in Oklahoma, from I-35 east. Tahlequah now has a couple little elements in a park they did at a day center. This is going to be the largest, most inclusive park this side of the state, bar none. And that's what I think was part of the selling point for the grant. So let's kind of go to the next, the back page. So what we've got are we have the disc flyers. Those can be added onto as we go forward, but those discs will hold up to 600 pounds.
Lord.
They're designed to be weight-bearing. They're also designed so that, again, everything has got disabilities in mind, so, or all abilities, however you want to say it. So we've got the swings, and then over here, you're going to see this little part right there, see this little? This is going to be for 2 to 5-year-olds. They don't make it any younger than that. So this little playground here is for 2 to 5. The T-swing over here, that's also for 2 to 5. So the slides are compatible with cochlear implants. The ladders and things, to an extent, are gonna be what they are. You can only climb if you can climb. But the point is we wanna make things as safe and as accommodating as we can. So as we go into the main play set, you're gonna see that it has multiple slides. Flip over to the back page there, or no, where are we at? Go to the third page.
This page?
This page, right here, with the awning. Part of the grant was that we had to put shade on this playground. So we're gonna do, it's an 18 by 30, I believe.
this looks similar as to what.
18 by
Roosevelt-
36.
18 by 36 by 8 shade. Do what?
This looks similar to what Roosevelt School has as far as shading.
It's the
similar.
same, the exact same company.
Is it? Huh?
You'll notice over here, the thing with the 4, looks like 4 race car seats. That is a handicap accessible teeter-totter or seesaw. It's kind of cool. You'll notice over here, the merry-go-round, or they call it a whirligig or whatever they call it. That is also wheelchair accessible, and it's designed for whoever's holding the wheelchair to be able to stand and brace themselves on the backside, and it's ground level. You've also got where the brown turf is. That's a little bit different turf because it's where those ADA things are at. So it's designed to be just a little bit of a different impact to accommodate those toys. Okay? So on the back side, you see 2 slides. This slide is a new slide that they have. It's an all-access slide, but it's 8 feet wide.
Good Lord.
Well,
Oh,
it's designed for parents to be able to go down with their kids, or kids to be able to go down with other kids and have plenty of room. Plus, who doesn't want an 8-foot wide slide? Why not, right? I think it's pretty cool. So we move on to some of the other features. You'll see things that other standard park stuff, jungle gyms. More slides. This slide here on the, I don't know what it's numbered, but this green slide, see the bottom of that is a little different? That's actually a safety feature, so that as they come down the slide, most kids, get to the end and they kind of bail off. That's intended to stop that falling off the end of the slide. It's all part of that, so.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. You'll notice on the poles, on these top poles, one of the things that isn't on the picture because it just wasn't, but we're gonna add it. They have a new feature that are actually solar lights. And so it'll give you about 6 hours of light. And we're gonna put solar lights on the top of those poles so that even though the parks are typically dusk to dawn, this will allow in those nights when it's a little earlier, it gets dark, kids, can kind of still see where they're going, and it's safety. So why not? You'll see on the back side of that, the toddler area. I think the whole thing is, it's really small. It's designed for 2-year-old to 5-year-old. Pretty cool deal. All right. And then the last one is just another angle of the slide, the ladders and some of the features they've got. And then the last page that you have, front and back, is going to be just the itemization from Happy Playgrounds. Happy Playgrounds is the one that we bought all of our other toys from at Whitaker Park. So Kelly, the lady who owns the company, is very familiar with Pryor. She's state contract pricing, so she's gonna have that contract price that we require. We cannot order anything or start this till September 1st. TSET put some delays in the grant because of TSET and things that they had going on politically during the election. And so that kind of bumped things out a little bit, but we can't encumber anything or expend anything till September 1st. So we've got kind of preliminary here. Colors are still up to change, and if I get people that say, hey, we'd like to do blue and gold, and I get enough of those, then heck, we'll do blue and gold. If I don't hear anything, who knows? I may just ask some kids, what do you think would be cool colors or whatever? She did these because she called them as, she said happy colors, positive, uplifting. I don't know. That's outside of my, I think the playground is happy no matter what you got going on there. So we're really excited for that. Phase 2 will start September of 27. And that's going to be, we're going to add to this adult exercise equipment, much like we have at Centennial Park. We'll also add benches, possibly some trash containers, and restrooms. And so for that part of the grant, we've got $223,100 to spend on that. So, and then we've got to pay a portion of that to our grant writer. Most of you know Ariana. She was with TSET for a lot of years. She actually wrote this for us, did a fabulous job. In her new business, that's what she does. And so she wrote herself into that grant like she should, but that's our Bobby Buck. That's what's coming. And on that, I'll take any questions or comments.
Sticking to this plan, I mean, it looks like you have all bases covered. The biggest issue was, I know for Bobby Buck, was restrooms. Now, curiosity, in these restrooms.
Adult changing tables, yes.
Yes, you're reading my mind.
Nope, adult changing tables will be added to the restrooms. So, we wanna do it right.
Sounds like a great plan then. Questions?
And hypothetically, we have till September, so if you guys wanna change something up a little bit, we can kinda change it up.
You know,
When you're talking about restrooms, are we gonna have boys, girls, and a family?
You know, we won't probably start looking at that till closer to next year. I've got a whole year to go. My focus right now will be on this.
You might think about us having a family, especially with.
I've heard more people talk about the family restroom.
Yeah, and that's fine, I mean.
Especially if you've seen the video that's going around.
Oh, I have.
about the-
So,
Quick Trip.
Yes.
so what we're looking at citywide, and I should also add this to Frank's report. With the bathrooms, we're still trying to figure out how to do these magnetic locks that are app-driven and app-controlled. We've had more vandalism in the bathrooms. It is what it is. I wish we could just say, you know what? You screwed the pooch and we're shutting them down. We can't do that. So we've got to find a better way to secure them. Whatever we put in Whitaker Park and at Centennial Park, we will put in Bobby Buck. So that if it takes, one of Frank's guys at night going locked, and they lock. That's what we'd like to do. Right now, we're dependent on somebody physically walking up every night and locking them. And if they don't check them, people get in, or people will stuff stuff in the latch and come back, and then they lock themselves in, and that's typically when they try to bust up the shatterproof bulbs, or they kick the commodes off the wall. It gets disgusting. It's disgusting what they do.
I know with magnetic locks, you can actually purchase them now with timers. You can set it up to, at dusk, it automatically engages.
So Mike at the rec center, and I think Frank took my spot last week because I had to go somewhere else. They went to Broken Arrow to a kind of a show and tell from a company that does a lot of that, to kind of look at the features and see what technology is available. We're looking at adding cameras to some of these things. Problem is with the bathroom.
Can't unless you get
Well,
front.
you can't.
Except
How do you,
for the front.
for the front?
The exterior.
But, so we talked about that, and then, we asked this company, so how do we address this? Like, if they're inside, how do we, stop that? So they actually have, just hear me out, I'm trying to figure this one out. They actually have microphones on the inside of the bathroom that if the microphone senses motion and sound for too long, it'll kick on, and you can hear what's going on inside the bathroom, and the camera will be on the outside. So apparently this is a big thing in some cities. Personally, I don't want to have to listen to it ever, but we're looking at all the options because we gotta secure these assets.
I've listened to a lot of
And I'll be honest,
Things in life.
whatever we put it there that works will probably throw your way.
So I have a question, if it's a magnetic lock and you're talking about locking at a certain time, what if somebody's in there?
They can get
They
out.
They can get out.
They
You
can
can
get
have it
out.
set up where you
Good
have
question.
you have a
Scott,
button
I'm
that you
gonna
can
go
push and it
all night.
opens it up. But the minute they walk past and it slams shut, it relocks itself.
Okay, I was just, ooh, that'd be awful.
And on that, I'll entertain any comments, questions, concerns.
Sounds awesome.
Listen, good things are happening in Pryor, despite, what we read on social media. Good things are happening here. And when I gave my state of the city, I was proud to stand up and say, the state of the city is great. We have so much to be looking forward to. We have a lot of people looking at Pryor right now. A lot of people coming in and asking us questions about how we're succeeding and how our parks look as good as they do, and how does our schools and all of these things, they want to know. And they want to know how we're doing it and how we're dealing with adversity of the things that are going around on the internet today, data centers and things like that. And I tell them, Pryor is choosing to capitalize on something we really didn't have a say in. And we're going to do what's best for the city, and we're going to make it work to our favor. And if that means we go out and we build sponsorships, or we build partnerships with the county, or Cherokee Nation, or private business, we're going to do it. And I think a lot of that, that starts in this room. And it starts with being able to do, like we said, take a step back, think about it, and move forward. And, we have a lot of good people serving in this community, and I am grateful for every effort. And so we have a lot of good right now in Pryor, and we need to accentuate that, and we need to focus on that. And that needs to be what we focus on, so that's it.
One thing I can definitely say, I've lived in Pryor now 25 years. And when I first moved to Pryor, coming from Pennsylvania, world of difference. And watching Pryor grow, we've grown exponentially. But the nice part about our growth, it was not rapid. It just flowed. That's what's making us successful. Because I've watched other times when I first came here and I saw them, where there was nothing but cattle field, and then all of a sudden, boom, overnight, you got grocery stores, you name it, but they got more financial woes than anybody else. I think we're doing it the right way. Progression is done at a certain pace. We're not in it to win a race. I think we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Any other comments?
Thank the Bowmans for being here tonight, being honest with us.
Thank you, Dennis. Don?
Appreciate y'all.
Chris? Any other comments?
I make a motion
I second.
to adjourn.
Well, wait, he hasn't told us what it was.
Let's make, you heard the man.
So no unforeseen
No
business.
unforeseen business, thank God. So who's the first?
Graves and
Me.
yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?